If you like the story, you can support the author on Patreon. Link is in the description.
Chapter 382, Undertale. The KS2's arrival rippled through the gaming world, and its launch title Celeste quickly ascended to the peak of popularity. The game boasted a dedicated fanbase, forged years ago in the fiery crucible of the SKES. Now, scattered like seeds on the wind, the Celeste community rekindled its spark. Old friends from high school clubs, their fingers still tingling with memories of pixelated triumphs, reached out across the digital divide. Gathering in online lobbies, their avatars danced with a renewed fervor, fueled by the console's smooth performance and vibrant display. The familiar pixelated peaks of Celeste Mountain rose once more, but this time, adorned with a breathtaking new clarity. Each jump, each daring dash, felt sharper, more responsive. The once jagged slopes now flowed with a buttery smoothness, every brush stroke of the developer's vision meticulously translated onto the KS2's canvas. The shared laughter echoing through the headsets, the whispered advice traded between veterans and newcomers, the collective groan after a particularly brutal pixelated demise, these were the threads that rewove the tapestry of their community. While Celeste soared through the clouds, another title cast a quieter, more introspective shadow on the KS2 landscape, Undertale. Unlike its platforming brethren, Undertale wove a tale laced with moral ambiguity and emotional depth, a stark departure from the usual console fare. Its pixelated charm, however, held a curious allure, particularly for the KS2's mature audience. Those who had grown weary of the predictable hero's journey, the pixelated explosions, and the endless quest for power found themselves drawn to Undertale's unconventional world. Here, the path wasn't paved with gold coins and vanquished foes, but with choices that resonated with the complexities of their own lives. The pixelated eyes of monsters, once programmed to be vanquished, now pleaded for understanding, challenging players to confront their preconceived notions of good and evil. Word of mouth spread like wildfire, fueled by whispered conversations in online forums and late-night gaming sessions. Tales of pacifist runs and heart-wrenching endings, of surprising twists and hidden depths, captivated the KS2 community. As Undertale crept out of its pixelated shell, whispers about its unique charm began to echo through online forums and gaming communities. Those who took a chance on the seemingly unassuming RPG found themselves drawn into a world unlike any they'd encountered before. For starters, the combat was a dance, a negotiation rather than a bloodbath. Each enemy, from the whimsical Frogget to the vicious Flowey, held a hint of humanity, a flicker of something relatable beneath their pixelated exterior. The choice, then, wasn't just between attack or defend, it was between empathy and aggression, mercy and violence. For gamers accustomed to the tried-and-true formulas of Tora and Suzuki's consoles, Undertale was a breath of fresh air. It wasn't about mindless button mashing or predictable narratives, it was about choice, with every pixel pulsating with the weight of consequence. The Shin forum buzzed with discussions, filled with tips, tricks, and heartfelt analyses of Undertale's emotional core. One particular post, however, sent a ripple of intrigue through the community. The user claimed to have discovered a hidden path, a secret route that led to a twisted ending. A genocide run, they called it, where every monster, from the smallest fry to the final boss, met their pixelated demise. But the true surprise awaited at the very end. Regardless of the player's ultimate choice, the game would supposedly crash, leaving them staring at a blank screen, a chilling testament to the consequences of their actions. Intrigued by this forbidden fruit, other players started their own hunts. The familiar corridors of Undertale's maps took on a new, grim purpose, transformed into hunting grounds for every hidden nook and cranny that might harbor a monster encounter. Grinding for XP, like Pokémon trainers in the tall grass, to level up. Undertale, in its simple 8-bit charm, had unleashed a storm of curiosity and ethical quandaries. The game, once a breath of fresh air, now became a crucible where players wrestled with their own inner demons, questioning the very definition of victory and the consequences of their choices. As Undertale burrowed deeper into the hearts of gamers, a curious murmur started to ripple through the online forums. Sharp-eyed players, veterans of the Shin SKES era, began to notice uncanny similarities between the quirky charm of Undertale and the beloved classic, Earthbound. The gameplay, with its turn-based battles, quirky dialogue, and quirky characters, felt almost like a pixelated echo of the older title. The whimsical towns, the quirky humor, the way the world responded to your choices, it all whispered of a familiar yet distinct melody. Discussions on the Shin forums buzzed with analysis and speculation. Was Undertale a spiritual successor, a modern reimagining of the beloved classic? Or was it simply a coincidental convergence of creative minds? The truth, of course, lay somewhere in the nebulous realm of creative inspiration. Both games, after all, bore the Shin banner, a shared lineage that inevitably cast a shadow on their individual identities. The similarities, however, served as a delightful bridge between generations of gamers. Veterans of the Earthbound era found familiar comfort in the pixelated landscapes and quirky humor, while newcomers to Shin's RPG legacy discovered a hidden gem that resonated with their own sensibilities. The shared DNA, far from being a point of contention, became a source of shared enjoyment and nostalgic conversations across the digital divide. Chapter 383, Price War. The ripples emanating from Shin's latest offerings, the KSP and KS2, were undeniable. Both products had firmly snagged the attention of the gaming community, particularly the highly anticipated KS2 console. The buzz around it was palpable, a testament to its potential to become a game-changer in the industry. Undertale, a seemingly unassuming title, was captivating players and developers alike. Its unique selling point? Branching narratives that allowed players to forge their own path, choosing good, neutral, or even evil routes. This unprecedented level of player agency had never been seen before, and it was turning heads. Undertale wasn't just a charming pixelated RPG, it was a bold experiment in storytelling that challenged the very notion of what a video game could be. Other studios, including the video game giants Tora and Suzuki's, could not ignore the creative spark it ignited. The game's success, built on innovation and originality, served as a stark reminder of Shin's dominant yet constantly evolving presence in the industry. Tora and Suzuki, spurred by the arrival of Shin's KSP and KS2, stepped up the development of their own 128-bit console. Recognizing the potential of this new generation, they aimed to capitalize on the growing excitement while carving out their own niche in the market. The first to strike was Tora, launching their console in January 2000. Priced slightly lower than the KS2, Tora boasted it was comparable performance to KS2 and targeted Shin and Suzuki loyal fanbase. The launch generated significant buzz, with gamers eager to experience the new era of gaming. Suzuki's offering, arriving shortly after, took a different approach. Priced slightly lower than both Tora and Shin in Japan, it sought to democratize the 128-bit experience for a broader audience. With these three powerhouses throwing their hats into the ring, the year 2000 marked the true kickoff of the 128-bit era. This new generation promised not just a graphical and technical leap, but also a wider range of gaming experiences and increased accessibility for players of all backgrounds. The 128-bit era roared to life, sending ripples through the global gaming landscape. Studios scrambled to adapt, shifting their focus to developing for the powerful new platform. Excitement crackled amongst gamers, particularly in the US and parts of Asia, as they eagerly awaited the launch of the latest consoles. Marketing battles raged fiercely, with Shin facing formidable competition from Tora and Suzuki. While Shin leveraged their Hollywood prowess and established stars to promote KS2, the two rivals adopted bolder strategies. Suzuki secured a coup by landing Michael Jackson as their brand ambassador, his iconic image gracing their advertisements and promotional materials. Tora, not to be outdone, recruited rap giants Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. Their catchy tunes mentioned Tora's console with subtle digs at Shin and Suzuki, further heating up the marketing war. The gaming community was captivated by the spectacle. Shin, a giant in the handheld market and claiming early dominance in Japan's 128-bit arena, was facing a real fight. Tora and Suzuki, far from being underdogs, landed significant blows in the marketing ring, proving they were forces to be reckoned with. The battle lines were drawn, and the stage was set for a thrilling 128-bit clash. The calendar flipped to February, and anticipation reached a fever pitch in the US, Europe, and swathes of Asia. Three behemoths poised to unleash their latest 128-bit consoles upon the world. Tora and Suzuki, eager to strike first, staged their press conferences across the US, their affiliated magazines buzzing with hype. Shin, meanwhile, maintained an enigmatic silence, fueling further speculation. Finally, the moment of truth arrived, price reveal. Tora unveiled their offering, met with enthusiastic applause from gamers enthralled by the competitive price tag. Suzuki followed suit, undercutting Tora by a mere $10, drawing even more cheers. The air crackled with anticipation as Shinro took the stage. Then, with a nonchalant flick of the microphone, he uttered a single number, $299. A stunned silence descended, followed by a realization that spread like wildfire across the faces of the gathered gamers. Jubilant cheers and thunderous applause erupted. After all, many had expected Shin to stick to their Japanese price of $350, especially with Tora and Suzuki's offerings hovering around the $300 mark. Shinro's single word, however, had shattered the pricing war before it even fully began. In one fell swoop, Shin had stolen the show, delivering a master class in undercutting their competitors and securing a psychological edge. The battle for console dominance had just taken a dramatic turn, leaving both gamers and industry insiders breathless with anticipation for what was to come. Tora and Suzuki's marketing teams watched Shin's response, particularly the surprise announcement from its young chairman, Shinro Suzuki, with a mixture of admiration and apprehension. While impressed by the audacity of the low price tag, they understood the potential impact on their own strategies. Within just a few days, magazine headlines echoed with reports of Shin's bold move, seemingly turning the tables on the pricing war Tora and Suzuki had initiated. The KS2, once overshadowed by its competitors' aggressive campaigns, was now surging in popularity across the US market with Tora and Suzuki's hype helped. Meanwhile, Shinro felt a quiet satisfaction. The unexpected price reveal mirrored a legendary moment from the gaming community he had witnessed in his past life, and seeing it play out anew, this time with him at the helm, brought a subtle smile to his face. Chapter 384, Anticipating the dotcom bubble burst. The gaming industry witnessed a significant shift as studios gradually transitioned from 32-bit to 128-bit consoles, with Shin leading the charge with their powerful new engine. This opened up new possibilities for developers, but it wasn't the only story brewing. Meanwhile, a different kind of inspiration took root. The unexpected success of Undertale, a charming yet deceptively simple 8-bit indie game, proved that captivating storytelling and innovative gameplay could thrive outside the realm of high-end graphics. This success emboldened smaller studios and independent developers, offering them a chance to chase their creative visions. Enter Unreal Engine, a versatile game development software that was accessible even for smaller players. Shin, recognizing the potential, made the software available for personal use, further fostering the independent spirit. However, there was a catch: for games developed on Unreal Engine with sales below 100,000 units, Shin wouldn't claim any royalties. This generous move, a testament to their long-term vision, provided a platform for budding developers to experiment, innovate, and potentially achieve success. The impact was undeniable. Smaller studios and independent creators flourished, and they can potentially unleash a wave of diverse and unique games onto the market. As February 2000 dawned, the world had dodged the much-feared Y2K bug, leaving behind a sense of relief and cautious optimism. In this timeline, the video games industry presented a different picture compared to Shin's previous life. While Shin maintained its dominance, competitors Tora and Suzuki managed to carve out their niches, supported by a loyal fanbase. However, Tora's latest 128-bit console wasn't performing as expected, leading to financial losses. Idori Tanaka, the head of Tora's video game division, along with key executives, faced a difficult decision. The intense competition from Shin and Suzuki was proving insurmountable, making it hard to compete in the high-end console market. While Tora could still find success with its cheaper handheld console, thanks to the higher price points of Shin's KSP and Suzuki's Ultimate, it wasn't enough to sustain their entire console division. After careful deliberation, Tanaka made a strategic shift. Tora would transition into a dedicated video game production company, focusing on developing games for other platforms. While they wouldn't completely abandon the handheld market, they would operate on a smaller scale, avoiding direct competition with the industry giants. This move, though a retreat from the high-end console market, allowed them to maintain their competitiveness by leveraging their cost-effective handhelds. This decision marked a turning point for Tora Electronics. While they surrendered the console battle to Shin and Suzuki, they pivoted their focus to carve out a successful niche in the handheld market, ensuring their continued presence in the ever-evolving gaming landscape. From his opulent Shin Rules chairman's office, Shin's gaze scanned the horizon, his prescient eyes witnessing the impending dotcom bubble's burst. Armed with his future knowledge, he discreetly advised trusted individuals and entities holding internet company stocks to short them. However, meticulous caution guided his actions. Shin meticulously targeted companies unlikely to survive the coming storm, their fate sealed in his memories of the future. The transactions were conducted through carefully chosen intermediaries, ensuring Shin and himself remained untraceable. This intricate web of maneuvers aimed to mitigate risk and avoid drawing unwanted attention. However, not all internet companies were destined for oblivion. Shin, recognizing the future potential of certain giants like Amazon, opted not to sell their stock. In fact, he strategically considered acquiring more shares if their prices dipped in the coming market turbulence. Google, however, already belonged to Shin. Their acquisition remained a quiet secret, as Google's 2000 presence was far from the behemoth it would become. Only a select few, including the investment giants BlackRock and Vanguard, that probably care of Shin's ownership of Google. Initially, Shin underestimated these investment firms. But as his experience as an industry leader grew, he recognized their significant influence. He even became aware of their support for Tora and Suzuki in the video game sector. This knowledge informed his decision to release the PS2 console earlier than planned. He anticipated the low-key giants behind his competitors would leverage their resources to match Shin in the high-end console market. Shin's early release aimed to secure Shin's position before their rivals could fully mobilize. Shin's keen strategic mind recognized the need to carefully navigate the complex landscape of the American market. While Shin, as a private company, wasn't directly beholden to the whims of Wall Street, he couldn't afford to underestimate the influence of powerful investment firms like BlackRock and Vanguard. These giants, particularly BlackRock, wielded immense power across various industries, and Shin was aware of their past opposition to Shin's early expansion in the US. Their ability to influence media narratives and sway public opinion presented a potential challenge. However, Shin's private ownership shielded it from direct influence through stock ownership. BlackRock and other investment firms couldn't directly dictate Shin's direction. Nevertheless, Shin acknowledged the indirect influence they exerted through their sway over banks, companies, and other entities that Shin partnered with. These partnerships, crucial for Shin's operations and growth, could be indirectly impacted by the investment giant's decisions. Chapter 385, Future Challenges of the Video Games Industry. The collaboration between Tora and Yahoo on video game projects was progressing smoothly until an unexpected obstacle emerged, the dotcom bubble burst of March 10, 2000. This major economic event sent shockwaves through the tech industry, with Yahoo being one of the many companies significantly impacted. The company's stock price, which had reached a peak of $468 just months earlier, plummeted to a mere $8 in the wake of the burst. This drastic drop reflected the overall market instability and dampened investor confidence in internet-related businesses. As news of the bubble burst spread, similar struggles unfolded across the industry. Many internet companies, previously riding high on inflated valuations, suddenly found themselves facing financial difficulties. Some were able to adapt and survive, while others succumbed to the pressure, eventually filing for bankruptcy. Shin's foresight proved valuable as the dotcom bubble burst in 2000. Having shorted some internet stocks earlier, Shin, under Shin's leadership, managed to secure a significant profit of $2.1 billion. However, their actions didn't end there. Capitalizing on the market turmoil, Shin discreetly acquired additional stock in internet companies believed to have weathered the storm better. Yahoo was one such example. While Amazon, another company Shin held shares in, wasn't entirely unscathed, its long-term vision seemingly resonated with Shin, leading him to acquire more of its stock during the downturn. Interestingly, Shin wasn't alone in their opportunistic strategy. This wasn't a lone player's game. Major investment firms like BlackRock, managing assets worth $165 billion at the time, also sought opportunities amidst the chaos. They too targeted companies they perceived as less affected, including Yahoo. Shin, however, felt a growing unease as he observed the movements of these major firms. He noticed a concerning trend: BlackRock, Vanguard, and others seemed to be mirroring Shin's investment actions with surprising accuracy. This raised a troubling question: were these giants simply reacting to market fluctuations, or were they somehow aware of Shin's shrewd maneuvers and seeking to capitalize on his insights? Whatever the reason, Shin understood the need for caution. He knew he had to operate with greater discretion and consider the potential consequences of his actions in this increasingly competitive landscape. Shin pushed aside his lingering anxieties as he entered the Shin Rules conference room. The topic of the day: the booming video game industry and its position in the economic uncertainty. Despite the recent dot-com crash, gaming stood apart, experiencing unprecedented growth fueled by the arrival of captivating 128-bit consoles. Months after Shin's PS2 console and its launch titles, including the critically acclaimed Undertale, hit the market, other studios began releasing their own offerings. These, however, were primarily 8-bit style games, seemingly inspired by Undertale's success. Though not embracing the full 128-bit potential, they were inspired by Shin's Undertale. While these games couldn't quite match Undertale's critical acclaim, Shin found a sense of satisfaction in the ripple effect it had caused. Undertale not only influenced established studios but also empowered independent developers. Armed with the hope its success ignited and the technical leap forward offered by the 128-bit platform, smaller teams dreamed of crafting their own titles and joining the thriving industry. This influx of fresh talent and ideas led to a surge in the number of game studios, further diversifying the landscape. With KS2's launch spanning several regions beyond Japan and the US, its impact rippled through the global gaming landscape. Inspired by Undertale, independent game developers across Europe, South America, and Asia began churning out their own creations. This phenomenon fueled a surge in the number of studios worldwide, further bolstering the already thriving gaming community. Shin, however, was not solely focused on celebration. He recognized the looming threat of industry consolidation. He anticipated that major corporations like Tencent and Microsoft would eventually acquire established and rising studios, potentially stifling competition and innovation. Such consolidation could lead to job losses within studios and limit the diversity of games reaching players, ultimately hindering the very growth Shin sought to encourage. This scenario was unacceptable to him. Shin was determined to ensure the video game industry continued to flourish, driven by healthy competition and diverse creative voices. He envisioned a future where the video game industry continued to flourish, driven by the healthy leadership of Shin and a diverse ecosystem of studios, both large and small. To achieve this, he knew he had to strategize and act decisively. This meant collaborating with other key players, advocating for fair market practices, and potentially even investing in promising newcomers. While navigating the dynamic video game industry, Shin Pictures was simultaneously venturing into the realm of film adaptation. In a move that sent ripples of excitement through the wizarding world, the company was filming the beloved Harry Potter series in various locations across the UK, particularly Scotland, the land that inspired J.K. Rowling's magical universe. The casting process proved to be meticulous and fruitful, with the chosen actors exceeding the expectations of Shin's key executives. This upcoming release, slated for next year, marks another potential blockbuster on the horizon for Shin Pictures. Chapter 386, Holding Back. March 2000, Tokyo. A group of high school students huddle around glowing screens in a Shin internet cafe, their laughter and excited chatter mingling with the electronic hum of their PCs. This scene, seemingly ordinary, reflects a growing phenomenon, the surge of PC gaming and its impact on the industry. While consoles like the KS2 and SP128 of Suzuki dominated the landscape, PC games were experiencing a quiet revolution. Unlike their console counterparts, PC games offered a wider variety of genres and experiences. RPGs like Fallout allowed players to immerse themselves in vast open worlds, while real-time strategy games like Warcraft brought the thrill of commanding armies in epic battles. And who could forget the adrenaline rush of first-person shooters like Doom and Quake? But the allure goes beyond captivating narratives and immersive worlds. PC gaming boasts a unique advantage: online connectivity. This opens doors to collaborative adventures, intense competitive matches, and a vibrant community of players connecting across geographical boundaries. The Internet Cafe becomes a hub for these digital interactions, where virtual camaraderie blooms alongside friendly rivalries. Shin's KP Software dominated the third-party online gaming scene in the early 2000s. Praised for its features and improvements since its launch, it faced rising competition from Netscape's Netscape Online Software and Microsoft's Redis Software. However, Shin's success extended beyond their software. Their reputation as a leading video game developer, with popular titles, drew gamers to their platform. This synergy between software and games became a key advantage. While competitors like Netscape and Microsoft also developed online gaming platforms and even ventured into game development, they lacked the established reputation and extensive game library of Shin. These rivals recognized the crucial link between software and games and began developing their own titles to attract users. The European platform Steam emerged as another competitor, gaining traction with its unique approach. While Steam initially focused on offering existing games from various developers, it later ventured into creating its own RPGs, further establishing its presence in the market. This period in gaming history was marked by rapid growth and experimentation. Companies like Shin, Netscape, Microsoft, and Steam each experimented with different strategies, including platform development, third-party software, and in-house game creation. While some of these early offerings of these three challengers, particularly RPGs, adhered to the turn-based combat systems established by Shin, others experimented with different approaches. Similarly, FPS titles from these platforms drew inspiration from existing games like Quake and Half-Life. Instead of outright innovation, they focused on adapting existing formulas popularized by Shin. Their RPGs often leaned towards turn-based combat, a system pioneered by Shin and familiar to many players. Similarly, their FPS offerings bore similarities to established titles like Quake and Half-Life, with familiar mechanics and settings. This strategy wasn't without merit. By leveraging established mechanics and narratives, these platforms offered a safe entry point for new players, particularly those drawn to the familiar comfort of Shin's successful formulas. Additionally, developing within existing frameworks likely helped them minimize development risks and expedite their entry into the market. However, while this approach garnered them some traction, it also posed limitations. Critics often dismissed their offerings as cheap copies lacking in originality. Shin, RMC, and visionary behind Shin Plays, observed the attempts of rival platforms like Steam, Netscape Online, and Reedy's software to compete within the gaming software landscape. While a sigh might occasionally escape him, his perspective was rooted in more than mere competition. Shin recognized the potential for positive developments within this competitive environment. He understood that rivals could act as catalysts for innovation, pushing the boundaries of the industry and ultimately benefiting players. However, despite offering opportunities, the current efforts appeared stagnant, lacking the groundbreaking advancements he had hoped to see. Intriguingly, Shin had deliberately held back on releasing certain game concepts, including Diablo with its revolutionary real-time combat and other innovative ideas that was new to this world. He did this with a specific purpose, to observe if these platforms, or even independent developers, would independently develop similar groundbreaking concepts. While he patiently waited, hoping to foster organic innovation, disappointment began to settle in. He realized a decision needed to be made. He could continue waiting, potentially hindering the industry's growth, or he could take the lead once more. Ultimately, he chose the latter path. The release of games like Diablo and Counter-Strike became inevitable, not out of a desire to dominate, but to reignite the spark of innovation and push the boundaries of the RPG and FPS genres once again. The arrival of Diablo and Counter-Strike in the PC gaming scene could potentially trigger a significant shift in the industry, particularly for developers who have adopted a follow-the-leader approach. Many developers who previously adopted a follow-the-leader approach, churning out similar titles based on established formulas, might face a moment of reckoning. The arrival of Diablo and Counter-Strike, with their innovative mechanics and engaging gameplay, could serve as a stark reminder of the potential they themselves held to be trailblazers. And the success of these titles, built upon groundbreaking concepts, could ignite a spark within the industry. Witnessing the positive reception and impact of these games, other developers might be inspired to delve into uncharted territory, exploring new mechanics, narratives, and gameplay experiences. The industry's focus might shift from replicating existing successes to actively seeking and nurturing innovation. Developers might be more inclined to experiment, take calculated risks, and embrace originality. This could lead to a wider variety of games, catering to diverse player preferences and pushing the boundaries of what's considered possible. Chapter 387, A Peek to Shin's Life. By April 2000, Shin's family life had become his main source of joy. His son, Shinichi, was already 8, displaying a surprising aptitude for video games, even surpassing Shin's own skills. This surprised Shin but not his wife, Myra, who attributed it to Shinichi's natural talent, perhaps inherited from his father, as a revolutionary game developer. However, Shin knew the truth. While he had brought his past knowledge of gaming to this world, his success stemmed from adapting existing concepts, not pure innovation. He recognized that Shinichi's talent was genuine and independent of any genetic link to his father's accomplishments. 8-year-old Shinichi, fresh from a small birthday gathering with friends, walked confidently into his classroom. Spotted by his friends already gathered inside, Shinichi was greeted with enthusiastic waves and smiles. He returned the gesture warmly and pulled out his KSP console, and opened the video game Flappy Bird. "Wow, Shinichi! How'd you get such a high score on Flappy Bird?" Satoshi asked, his admiration evident. Ryo, another friend, mumbled, "Ugh, I can't even pass the score of 30. Any secret tips, Shinichi? Takeshi chimed in curiously. Shinichi simply shrugged with a playful grin. Just practice, I guess. The three boys exchanged glances, a mixture of disbelief and amusement in their eyes. Shinichi was surrounded by classmates who exuded an air of privilege. Their backgrounds were a mix of influential families and substantial wealth, creating an atmosphere where Chin seemed permanently held high. While Shinichi knew his family was well off, living in a spacious house, he and his friends had no idea about the vast wealth hidden beneath their comfortable lives. His father, a billionaire and owner of Shin, kept his business dealings private. Shinichi's friends assumed his father was successful, but not on the same level as theirs. The truth, however, remained a secret, adding an unspoken layer to Shinichi's interactions with his peers. Yo guys, Arnold, Shinichi's foreign classmate and fellow gamer, sidled up to their group. Did you hear Shin just released a brand new PC games? Satoshi, already familiar with PC gaming, nodded. Yup, downloaded it earlier. Pretty cool so far. Ryo added, yet, loving their new FPS. The online multiplayer is awesome. Takeshi chimed in excitedly, right. They totally delivered. As expected of Shin. His admiration for the developer was clear. Shinichi, who primarily stuck to console games, furrowed his brow. What game are you guys talking about? His friends, including Arnold, stared at him in surprise. Seriously, Shinichi? Arnold exclaimed, you're one of the best gamers I know, and you haven't heard of the hype. Shinichi shrugged. I mostly play on consoles and handhelds, haven't really heard of any big releases lately. Satoshi and the others exchanged knowing glances. That explains it, Satoshi chuckled, it's a PC game, not console. Shinichi's eyebrows shot up. PC games, hey. Come on, Shinichi, Ryo prodded, don't you have a computer at home? Shinichi confirmed with a nod. Yeah, but I don't really use it. Understanding dawned on Arnold and the others. Ah, that explains it, Arnold said. You're missing out on the whole PC gaming world. Especially the hot new releases like Counter-Strike and Diablo. Ryo added, yeah, Diablo's a cool RPG, but man, finding loot can be tough. Satoshi chimed in with a nod, tell me about it. Takeshi's eyes sparkled. Hey, how about we head over to Shinichi's place after school and teach him some PC gaming? That sounds awesome. The others agreed enthusiastically. Shinichi simply smiled, his curiosity piqued. The teacher entered the classroom, signaling the start of class, and the conversation shifted to other topics. However, the seed of PC gaming had been planted, and Shinichi couldn't help but wonder if his friends might be right. After school, Shinichi's classmates followed him home. Shinichi's family house, while comfortable, couldn't compete with the opulent mansions they were accustomed to. However, they maintained their polite demeanor and entered. A playful bark drew their attention. Arnold, surprised, stopped to look at a golden retriever named Luigi. Shinichi patted the dog, muttering, Luigi, be good. The dog relaxed, resting its head on the floor. Leading his friends upstairs, Shinichi and his classmates were met by a woman in a formal black suit. She bowed respectfully to Shinichi, asking, Young master, may I inquire who your guests are? Shinichi simply introduced them as classmates. Meanwhile, whispers flew among his classmates. Her clothes are so formal, one mused. Must be something to do with his family, another replied. Shinichi's classmates followed his gaze as the woman's eyes landed on them. Please leave your bags with me before entering the young master's room, she instructed politely. They exchanged silent glances, a hint of annoyance flicking across their faces, before complying and placing their bags on the designated surface. As they ascended the stairs, Arnold couldn't help but ask, Who's that, Shinichi? Naomi-san, Shinichi replied casually, she's, well, our house security. Satoshi, Arnold and the others exchanged surprised looks. Whoa, a guard? I thought she was a maid, Satoshi blurted out. Shinichi chuckled. She does double duty sometimes. Interesting combination of roles, Ryo remarked. Why a woman instead of a man, though? Shinichi shrugged. Not sure. Mom mentioned Dad wasn't comfortable with any male staff living in the house except us. Satoshi and the others gasped. Whoa, your dad's pretty strict, Hey? Stricter than mine, at least. Arnold exclaimed. Shinichi chuckled. Nah, not really. I think Mom just finds him a bit immature sometimes. Reaching Shinichi's room, his friends couldn't help but pause in surprise. It was spacious and well decorated, the walls adorned with artwork and figurines based on popular games and anime from Shin. A life-sized Pikachu statue stood proudly in a corner, further adding to the unique atmosphere. Whoa, this room is awesome, Shinichi! Takeshi exclaimed, his tone reflecting genuine admiration. The others shared his sentiment, impressed by the unique and creative design. While they hadn't envied Shinichi's house itself, his personalized room with its cool features certainly sparked a sense of appreciation and envy. Chapter 388, A Peek to Shin's Family Life 2. Stepping into Shinichi's room, his friends took a moment to admire the personalized decor before focusing on the computer setup. Nice computer, Shinichi, Arnold commented, don't you use it much? Shinichi shrugged casually. Not really, haven't had much need for it. Satoshi chuckled, shaking his head. Sounds like you're missing out on some great games. Oh, right. Arnold exclaimed, patting his backpack. I brought those PC game CDs I mentioned, they're in my bag. Hold on. Before he could continue, Shinichi interjected, I can grab them, don't worry. Shinichi interjected, I'll grab them. He returned shortly with 2 cases in hand. These the ones? Arnold and the others confirmed. The games were Diablo and Counter-Strike. Let's get them installed. Ryo declared, and the group eagerly inserted the CDs. Shinichi watched curiously as Counter-Strike prepared to install, but Takeshi suddenly chimed in, hold on, it's already here. Arnold and the others paused, peering at the screen. Sure enough, both Counter-Strike and Diablo were already installed, along with a whole library of Shin PC games and even a KP software folder. Satoshi whistled. Wow, not just installed, but stocked full. Looks like you even have KP software. Arnold's gaze shifted to Shinichi. We thought you didn't play PC games, Shinichi. How come there's so much already on here? Shinichi himself seemed surprised. No idea. Dad just gave me this computer a few weeks ago, but I haven't touched it much. Ryo pondered. Maybe he pre-installed some games for you then. The others nodded in agreement. Yeah, it makes sense, Shinichi added thoughtfully. I think this used to be his office computer. Takeshi's eyes widened. Whoa, your dad plays games at work. Takeshi's eyes widened. Your dad plays games at work? Isn't that risky? Shinichi chuckled. Not really risky when you own the company. This revelation raised eyebrows all around. Owns a company? Ryo asked, intrigued. Which one? Shinichi shrugged. Not sure, I never really ask. Mom just said it's a video game company. No wonder. Arnold exclaimed, understanding dawning. Takeshi grinned. Alright, enough company talk. Let's get you schooled on PC games, Shinichi. The others echoed his enthusiasm, eager to share their knowledge. Shinichi's classmates were eager to teach him the ropes of Diablo, the new RPG game. As Arnold logged into his KP account and launched the game, Shinichi watched intently. Arnold's character sported impressive gear, skillfully navigating dungeons and slaying monsters. Shinichi couldn't help but be drawn in, eager to try his hand at the game himself. Soon, Shinichi created a new KP account and delved into his own adventure, immersing himself in the world of Diablo. Shinichi became so absorbed in Diablo that his classmates didn't get to teach him Counter-Strike. Regardless, Shinichi was grateful for their company and about to saw them out as it was getting late. Downstairs, Shinichi surprised them by rushing towards a man and embracing him. Welcome home, father! He exclaimed. Shin's classmates recognized the man as Shinichi's father from his birthday party. Satoshi, Ryo, and Takeshi respectfully bowed, having already met him. Arnold, however, froze, staring intently at Shinichi's father. Shin's classmates recognized the man as Shinichi's father from his birthday party. Satoshi, Ryo, and Takeshi respectfully bowed, having already met him. Arnold, however, froze, staring intently at Shinichi's father. How are you, Shinichi? Shin smiled, then turned to his son's friends. It seems you've invited some of your friends. Yes, Dad, they were teaching me PC games. Shinichi replied. Shin nodded, pleased. Oh? In that case, why not have lunch with them? Shinichi was slightly surprised, then looked at his friends. Satoshi and the others about to politely decline, but Arnold unexpectedly agreed, much to their surprise. Seeing his classmates accept the invitation, Shin smiled. They all headed to the dining room, where Shin and Myra enjoyed watching their son interact with his friends, their faces reflecting genuine happiness. Only Arnold stood out with his unusually formal demeanor towards Shinichi's father. After lunch, the classmates finally bid farewell, with Shinichi accompanying them out. Exiting the house, Satoshi and the others glanced curiously at Arnold. You seemed especially respectful towards Shinichi's dad, why is that? Ryo noted. Lost in thought, Arnold didn't respond at first. Ryo nudged him gently, repeating the question. Startled back to the present, Arnold smiled. Seriously, guys? Didn't you recognize him? Satoshi, Ryo, and Takeshi exchanged confused looks. Recognize who? Shinichi's father, obviously, Satoshi replied. Arnold explained that his father owned a video game magazine company. His classmates listened patiently, initially assuming he was bragging. But then, Arnold dropped a bombshell. He revealed that Shinichi's father was none other than the owner and chairman of Shin Companies, Shinro Suzuki. Satoshi, Ryo, and Takeshi were stunned. The news was unbelievable. I've seen countless pictures of him at my dad's company, Arnold assured them. And remember Shinichi mentioning his father owned a video game company? Plus, his family name is Suzuki, it has to be him. The more proof Arnold provided, the more astonished they became. They couldn't believe they had been so close to a gaming legend without realizing it. Chapter 389, Long Game. The recent release of Shin's highly anticipated PC games, Counter-Strike and Diablo, had everyone buzzing. Their soaring popularity wasn't surprising, with reports of hundreds of thousands of units sold within weeks. The games captivated players of all ages, drawing in even elementary schoolers like Shinichi's classmates and friends. Shinichi, however, felt an unexplained shift in his friends' behavior. While their friendship remained intact, he couldn't help but notice their increased kindness towards him. He brushed it off, attributing it to their friendly nature. Unbeknownst to Shinichi, his friends were quietly spreading a secret within their class. Shinichi was the son of Shinro Suzuki, the industry leader behind the hugely popular Shin. This revelation, unknown to Shinichi. In the bustling internet cafes of Tokyo, high school students eagerly occupied seats to dive into the latest gaming phenomena. Diablo, with its captivating RPG world, had stormed the genre, offering deep immersion and endless customization. Alongside it, Counter-Strike redefined the FPS landscape with its innovative team-based gameplay and intense tactical challenges. Both games transcended popularity norms. They weren't just popular, they were intensely, almost obsessively played. Whether it was salarymen seeking post-work relaxation or students indulging in a lunchtime escape, PC cafes witnessed a growing trend fueled by Diablo and Counter-Strike. The surge in popularity of Diablo and Counter-Strike at internet cafes didn't escape the media's watchful eye, particularly those with pre-existing concerns about video games. Morning news programs in Japan, particularly, took notice of the growing number of salarymen and students frequenting internet cafes instead of their usual routines, raising concerns among experts. News hosts and invited commentators addressed the perceived negative impacts of video games, focusing primarily on PC titles. They also drew attention to the rapid expansion of internet cafes, particularly those owned by corporate giant Shin. Critics expressed concerns about Shin's growing monopoly, arguing that the corporation wasn't just dominating the video game market but also venturing into the cafe business, potentially squeezing out smaller, independent establishments. These smaller cafes, primarily concentrated in Tokyo, complained about Shin's entry into their market, fearing the loss of their customer base, which primarily consisted of students and salarymen. While media outlets critical of video games expressed concerns about the escalating trend of internet cafes and their impact on productivity, the general public seemed less alarmed. For instance, salarymen and students, the primary user base of these cafes, remained largely unfazed. However, older generations, with pre-existing reservations about video games, echoed the media's anxieties. This surge in interest towards video games and internet cafes undeniably benefited the industry as a whole. Shin, in particular, played a significant role in this growth, solidifying its position as a market leader. Major publications like Forbes, recognizing Kishin's central role, featured the company extensively in their articles on the video game industry. This positive media coverage, coupled with his achievements, cemented Shinro Suzuki's legendary status among gamers. It wouldn't be surprising if established magazines like Forbes once again considered featuring him in their publications, underscoring his impact on the industry. Adding to Kishin's dominance, industry experts widely predicted their KS2 console to shatter previous sales records. Initial sales figures seemed to confirm this, suggesting the KS2 may be the fastest-selling console in history. Meanwhile, the runaway success of PC titles like Diablo and Counter-Strike on the KP software platform cast a long shadow over competitors like Steam, Netscape Online, and Redis Software. These rivals weren't idle, however. They diligently studied Kishin's strategies, implementing significant improvements in their own platform's games, features, and functionality. Notably, some even surpassed KP software in specific areas. However, the undeniable success of recent KP software games like Diablo and Counter-Strike undeniably gave Kishin Play's software a significant edge in the competition, leaving its rivals scrambling to catch up. While Kishin was basking in the success of the KS2 and KP software titles, another major player was quietly making its move. Microsoft, already established in the PC gaming space, announced its intention to enter the console market with its highly anticipated Xbox platform. Unlike traditional consoles, the Xbox aimed to bridge the gap between personal computers and dedicated gaming hardware. It leveraged readily available components like Microsoft Windows and DirectX for its operating system, Intel CPUs, and NVIDIA GPUs, offering a familiar yet powerful platform for gamers. This unique approach presented a significant challenge to the dominance of Kishin's KS2. The Xbox's PC-like architecture promised greater flexibility and potential for customization, potentially appealing to a different segment of the gaming audience. Behind Microsoft's decision to enter the console market with the Xbox were key players like Vanguard Incorporated and BlackRock, two major investment giants. Despite Kishin's influence on the console, these investment giants were aware that Kishin still held significant power. The Kishin practically owned the company behind DirectX and powerful GPUs, NVIDIA, a key technology for the Xbox, and Kishin held a substantial share in Microsoft itself. However, Vanguard and BlackRock's long-term strategy wasn't solely focused on the immediate competition. They aimed to reduce Kishin's influence across various industries, potentially paving the way for a future public offering of the company. By investing heavily in Kishin after its IPO, they could gain even more control. While Kishin's current position seemed unassailable, these giants believed in playing the long game. Their silent efforts focused on gradually weakening Kishin's grip on the market, anticipating a future opportunity to acquire significant shares in a publicly traded company. Chapter 390, Influence 2. Beyond video games, Kishin's mobile phones were also experiencing significant success, particularly in Asia and Japan. Their signature flip phone design resonated with consumers, leading to strong sales. This design proved so popular that other brands began incorporating similar models into their lineups, generating royalty fees for Kishin estimated in the hundreds of millions of dollars. Fast forward to the year 2000, and Kishin was poised to further revolutionize the mobile phone industry by introducing a groundbreaking feature, Bluetooth. Kishin had played a critical role in the development of Bluetooth technology since 1997. As a major shareholder in Ericsson Mobile Technology, they had actively supported its creation. Now, several years later, the technology was finally mature enough for integration into mobile phones. Kishin proudly launched the first commercially available phone featuring Bluetooth connectivity. This innovative feature allowed users to connect wirelessly to various devices, including headsets and other phones. Kishin further complemented this advancement by introducing their own dedicated wireless earphones optimized for Bluetooth connection. Kishin's marketing efforts for their Bluetooth-enabled phone weren't subtle. Commercials showcasing seamless connections between the phone and dedicated Kishin wireless earphones garnered significant attention, particularly among tech enthusiasts and early adopters. However, Kishin's ambition didn't stop there. They took aim at the burgeoning music player market by introducing the second-generation iPod featuring, you guessed it, Bluetooth connectivity and compatibility with their wireless earphones. This move caused a stir in the market, which was already grappling with the dominance of the first-generation iPod. While competitors scrambled to offer cheaper, albeit less feature-rich options, Kishin doubled down on premium quality and innovation. Their approach seemed to resonate with consumers. While the second-generation iPod was pricier than its rivals, its slim design, enhanced features, and seamless Bluetooth functionality with Shin's earphones proved appealing to many. Consumers were less concerned about the additional cost of dedicated earphones, valuing the integrated experience Shin offered. Shin's iPod series, particularly the second generation, enjoyed widespread popularity across various demographics, including employees, students, especially university students, and even celebrities. This trend spanned across continents, evident in the USA, Europe, and Asia. The release of the second-generation iPod in select US states sparked significant excitement, with long lines forming as eager consumers sought to get their hands on the device and its accompanying wireless earphones. This fervor contrasted with the initial reception of the first-generation iPod, where some questioned the hype. However, with the passage of time and the increasing adoption by celebrities, the public's understanding of the iPod's appeal had grown, leading to the enthusiastic reception of the second iteration. This phenomenon wasn't exclusive to the USA. Similar scenes of enthusiastic early adopters lining up were observed in both Europe and Asia, highlighting the global appeal of the iPod and its growing impact on digital music consumption. The online entertainment landscape received a boost with the arrival of Shin Digital, a new player in the online payment space. This company emerged from the merger of Confinity, known for secure digital payments on handheld devices, and Shin Digital, a subsidiary of Shin with similar ambitions. Shin Digital offered a convenient and accessible payment solution for various online services, including the popular renting platform Netflix. Gamers and movie lovers alike benefited from the ease of subscribing to monthly plans. The platform's ease of use extended to younger audiences, as even teenagers without personal bank accounts could subscribe with their parents' linked accounts. This contributed to a significant rise in Netflix's revenue, attracting new users through convenient and accessible payment methods. In the lists of video game rentals on Netflix during 2000, the classic Mario Party series held the top spot for the month. However, a newcomer was steadily climbing the ranks, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, the latest release from KS2. For gamers who had experienced the groundbreaking Metal Gear Solid I, the new title sparked a wave of nostalgia. The years since its release hadn't diminished its impact, and the memories of its immersive story and innovative gameplay remained fresh. For many, college days spent playing Metal Gear Solid I now seemed distant as they navigated careers and adult life. Yet, the allure of venturing back into Metal Gear world with the release of Metal Gear Solid 2 proved irresistible. Many contemplated a nostalgic return to the series, eager to relive the classic story and explore its thrilling sequel. This phenomenon highlights the power of nostalgia in the gaming industry. A well-crafted sequel can not only captivate new audiences but also rekindle the passion of lapsed players, reminding them of the joy and connection they once experienced. As returning veterans booted up Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty in 2000, a wave of anticipation crashed over them. The groundbreaking first game had set a high bar, and Shin's latest offering promised an even deeper dive into Solid Snake's world. Yet, as the title screen faded, a spectrum of reactions emerged, reflecting the unique expectations each player carried. "Whoa, Raiden? Snake's gone? What is this?" exclaimed John, brow furrowed in confusion. The protagonist shift jolted many back, the familiar gruffness of Solid Snake replaced by the youthful agility of Raiden. Some, like Sarah, found the fresh perspective intriguing, a chance to experience the Metal Gear world through new eyes. "It's a different angle, but still cool," she admitted, appreciating the acrobatic combat style. Others, like Mark, yearned for Snake's seasoned presence. Snake carried the first game. "This feels weird. The graphics are insane. Look at that detail," marveled David, his eyes glued to the screen. The leap to the KS2 platform had brought stunning visuals, transforming the Metal Gear universe into a feast for the eyes. Chapter 391, Goal and Gamble. Released in 2000, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty made a significant impact on the gaming world, captivating both returning Metal Gear Solid fans and newcomers alike. While some returning players initially expressed apprehension about Raiden replacing the familiar Solid Snake as the protagonist, many quickly warmed to the innovative gameplay and engaging story. They appreciated the fresh perspective Raiden offered, particularly the focus on agility and acrobatics instead of Snake's stealthy tactics. Metal Gear Solid 2 proved itself accessible to new players as well. Its stunning visuals, impressive for its time, and engaging soundtrack drew them in. The innovative gameplay mechanics, with features like first-person shooting and hacking, offered a refreshingly modern experience compared to its predecessor. Unlike the action-heavy focus of Metal Gear Solid, MGS2 ventured into thought-provoking territory. It tackled complex themes like the spread of information, and the power of media manipulation. While these themes resonated with some players, others found them too abstract or heavy-handed, leading to a diverse range of reactions. Despite its serious themes, the game didn't shy away from humor. References to pop culture icons like Pac-Man and Super Mario, along with a humorous inclusion of a warp pipe similar to the ones in Mario games, provided light-hearted moments for players. Kishin's strategy to attract older players extended beyond just their new title. Classic titles like The Legend of Zelda, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Super Mario were meticulously remastered for the PS2 console, reigniting the nostalgia of seasoned gamers and enticing them to return to the world of video games. This move effectively tapped into a previously dormant market segment, expanding Kishin's reach and brand loyalty. Furthermore, Kishin strategically catered to regional preferences. The Need for Speed series, known for its arcade-style racing, proved popular in the US market, while the more simulation-focused Gran Turismo 2 resonated strongly with Japanese players. This regional tailoring allowed Kishin to dominate the racing game genre, establishing a strong foothold in both key markets. Their true goal was to leverage their success in racing games to prepare the ground for future endeavors within the motor industry. This strategic vision marked the beginning of a multi-pronged approach. This vision propelled them to venture into anime, releasing Initial D, First Stage. This groundbreaking series targeted a mature audience, aiming to capture the hearts and minds of car lovers beyond just gamers. Interestingly, Kishin opted for Fuji TV to air the series instead of their usual partner, TV Asahi. This strategic move suggests they sought a wider reach and a demographic that aligned better with Initial D's mature themes. The news of Fuji TV securing the rights to broadcast Kishin's anime, Initial D, First Stage, wasn't just exciting for the station, it resonated across the industry. Kishin, with its vast library of popular anime, had already demonstrably impacted the Japanese economy. Tourism, particularly to Akihabara's Electric Town, a district heavily influenced by Kishin, saw a significant boost thanks to anime's popularity. The area, unofficially nicknamed Kishin Town by some, reflected the company's ubiquitous presence. While never officially adopted, the nickname reflected the company's deep roots in the area. Kishin, with its ever-expanding influence, wasn't simply laying the groundwork for future entry into the motor industry. Through its subsidiary, Kishin Motor, established partnerships with prominent players like South Korea's Hyun Motors, gradually taking calculated steps towards its ultimate goal. However, Shin, the mastermind behind Kishin's endeavors, possessed a unique advantage: memories from his past life. While aware of potential discrepancies between this world and his previous one, he used these recollections to his benefit. One way he did this was by sponsoring an F1 driver predicted to win based on his past life knowledge. Michael Schumacher, the four-time champion in Shin's previous world, became Kishin's target. Before the F1 championship, outbidding established sponsors like Marlboro and Shell, Kishin secured the most prominent space on Schumacher's racing jacket. While Marlboro and Shell maintained their presence, Kishin's logo undeniably held the spotlight. While possessing knowledge of his past life's F1 champion, Shin wasn't operating with absolute certainty. He understood the inherent risks involved in such a gamble. Sponsoring Michael Schumacher, despite his past life success, represented a significant financial investment for Kishin. Additionally, Shin personally wagered a substantial sum on Schumacher's victory. The 2000 F1 season kicked off in Australia, and for Shin and Kishin, the stakes were high. Sponsoring Michael Schumacher, a rising star in the motorsport world, represented a strategic move to gain visibility and credibility within the industry. The first race proved encouraging. Michael, sporting a prominent Kishin logo on his racing jacket, delivered a strong performance. While seasoned fans might already be familiar with the brand, this exposure brought Kishin to the attention of a wider audience. Racing enthusiasts around the world were introduced to the company through this high-profile sponsorship. This newfound awareness translated into tangible results for Kishin's diverse portfolio of racing games. Sales experienced a noticeable surge, indicating that the F1 sponsorship resonated with the target audience. Chapter 392, Progress in Semiconductor Technologies. On May 7, 2000, the F1 Circus arrived at the Circuit de Catalunya for the Spanish Grand Prix, marking the fifth race of the season. Kishin, with their strategic sponsorship of the Ferrari team and rising star Michael Schumacher, had their eyes firmly fixed on the outcome. Michael, fresh off a strong performance in the previous race, continued his momentum and secured a position within the top 5. While not a podium finish, it was a commendable result, particularly considering the fiercely competitive nature of F1. Launched in December 1999, the KS2 console achieved impressive sales figures early on, reaching 8.9 million units by May 2000. For loyal KS1 owners, the backward compatibility was a siren song. Their beloved classics wouldn't be gathering dust in the attic anymore, they'd be reborn with a fresh coat of graphical polish on the KS2. Kishin newly released title, NBA 2K1, garnered significant attention and emerged as a strong competitor to the established NBA Live series. Basketball fans were particularly drawn to its innovative gameplay and engaging features, propelling it towards becoming a new favorite. Recognizing the shifting market landscape, Kishin strategically handed over the development of the NBA Live series to Electronic Arts, a subsidiary video game studio. This allowed Kishin to focus its resources on its rising star, NBA 2K1, and capitalize on its potential. Furthermore, Kishin was already a dominant player in the soccer gaming scene with its FIFA series on the KS2. Suzuki, with its 128-bit console, aimed to capture market share with refreshed versions of their popular video games. Their RPG, Two Realms, and sports game, Soccer 2000, offered familiar experiences with updated graphics and features. Notably, Soccer 2000 garnered some popularity in the US, potentially due to the sport's growing fanbase there. Meanwhile, Tora, a company that initially struggled in the console market, transitioned into a solely video game development studio. This strategic shift allowed them to focus on creating titles for other successful platforms like Kishin's KS2 and Suzuki's SP128. Interestingly, their established Happy series found continued success on these platforms, demonstrating the value of strong intellectual property. This shift proved profitable for Tora. In 2000, Kishin Pictures continued to leverage the power of established intellectual property, IP, with the release of Jurassic Park 3, the third installment in the popular dinosaur franchise. The film opened successfully, generating $70 million in its first week at the domestic box office. While domestic sales declined after the initial surge, the film's performance was bolstered by international distribution. Beyond domestic audiences, Kishin Pictures' international distribution efforts played a significant role in the film's overall success. Partnering with distributors in other countries allowed Jurassic Park 3 to reach a global audience, expanding its reach and potential for revenue. This strategy resulted in the film's total box office reaching $180 million and continuing to slowly increase over time. In the year 2000, Kishin Semiconductor was actively involved in the development of 0.18 micron technology, a significant advancement in chip manufacturing. This technology allowed for the creation of denser and faster chips compared to previous generations. Looking ahead, industry experts predicted a gradual transition to even smaller and more powerful 0.13 micron technology by 2001. Recognizing this trend, Kishin sought strategic partnerships to accelerate its own progress in this area. One such partnership was established with Samstar, a major semiconductor company. Through this collaboration, both Kishin and Samstar aimed to leverage their combined resources and expertise to jointly research and develop 0.13 micron technology. This joint effort, however, required significant financial investment, with estimates suggesting billions of dollars would be needed for the transition. Additionally, Kishin explored collaboration with another Japanese company, Fujitsu. Fujitsu possessed extensive experience in semiconductor technologies, and partnering with them offered Kishin valuable insights and expertise to complement their own efforts. This led them to forge a strategic alliance with Fujitsu, a Japanese company with extensive experience in semiconductor technologies. Fujitsu's involvement brought valuable technical knowledge and a complementary skill set to the table, enriching the collaborative effort. Notably, this partnership took place after Fujitsu's ties with TSMC ended, opening the door for a new collaboration. While the ultimate goal was 0.13 micron technology, Kishin's existing expertise in 0.18 micron technology, 180nm process, offered immediate benefits. This enabled the development of essential components like CPUs and communication chips, including Internet Interface Controllers for WorldCom ISP modems, a Kishin subsidiary in the US. This internal production capability streamlined operations and potentially reduced costs for Kishin's various businesses. Beyond immediate applications, Shin recognized the potential of its semiconductor expertise in the burgeoning automotive industry. The company saw the possibility of leveraging its technological know-how to develop chips specifically for automotive applications, paving the way for future entry into this lucrative market. Chapter 393, Shin's Unintentional Revenge. As Shin scanned the progress report for Shin Semiconductor's latest technological development, a wry smile tugged at his lips. The numbers and charts painted a story of incremental progress, riddled with the inevitable setbacks one encountered when pushing the boundaries of technology. It wasn't the explosive growth he had envisioned, but neither was it an unexpected hurdle. After all, venturing into the semiconductor industry, a notoriously unforgiving arena of constant innovation and fierce competition, meant embracing a marathon, not a sprint. Shin remembered the countless meetings, the strategic debates, and the calculated risks taken to establish Shin in this high-stakes game. While some might have viewed the current progress as underwhelming, Shin saw it through a different lens. These early challenges were merely stepping stones, each conquered obstacle paving the way for future breakthroughs. His gaze lingered on a specific section of the report detailing a recent technical hurdle encountered by their research team. A frown momentarily creased his brow, but it quickly softened into a determined expression. These were the moments that truly tested their mettle, demanding innovative solutions and unwavering commitment. Despite the initial financial losses incurred by Shin Semiconductors, a subsidiary of Shin Industries, there were signs of positive developments suggesting a gradual climb towards profitability. One encouraging indicator was the company securing CPU and other chip orders from Apple for their diverse line of computers and electronics. This partnership provided Shin with much-needed stability and access to a vast market. Apple's decision to work with Shin was likely influenced by a combination of factors, including Shin's competitive pricing strategy. While Shin offered prices slightly lower than established competitors, they were still able to maintain profitability through strategic cost management and efficient production processes. Beyond the Apple deal, Shin's lower-than-market pricing attracted other businesses as well. This strategy helped the relatively young company gain a foothold in the competitive semiconductor market. While established players often enjoyed economies of scale and brand recognition, Shin's agility and willingness to adapt allowed them to offer attractive pricing options that resonated with cost-conscious buyers. In the ever-evolving world of PC gaming, the relationship between Shin and Microsoft, despite cooling over the years, remained surprisingly fruitful. Their flagship collaborative franchise, Civilization, continued to thrive, with Shin taking an increasingly prominent role in its development. While the broader PC gaming community, enthralled by the burgeoning popularity of online titles like Diablo and Counter-Strike, seemed less than fazed, ardent fans of the Civilization franchise held their breath in anticipation. This wasn't just another game, it was a continuation of a beloved legacy, a chance to delve deeper into the intricate world-building and strategic gameplay that had captivated hearts for years. These dedicated players, fondly referred to as Civheads, formed a passionate community. Online forums buzzed with speculation and excitement. From meticulously constructing intricate empires to forging vast armies and navigating complex economies, the franchise offered an unparalleled depth of kingdom-building experiences. With each iteration, the scope and ambition grew. The introduction of new civilizations, advanced technologies, and nuanced diplomatic options further deepened the strategic layer, allowing for even grander narratives to unfold within the virtual landscapes. But Civilization wasn't just confined to the PC realm. The Series S charm transcended platforms, finding a new audience with its adoption on the PS2 console. Console gamers, accustomed to fast-paced action and linear narratives, discovered a different kind of thrill in Civilization. The game's strategic depth, turn-based gameplay, and expansive scope offered a refreshingly different experience, one that demanded patience, planning, and a touch of long-term vision. In the bustling heart of Osaka, Japan, the newly constructed Shin world throbbed with vibrant energy. Rows of colorful houses, from Shin's beloved intellectual properties, stretched across the landscape, each one a portal to fantastical worlds. Among the throngs of excited visitors, Reina Suzuki navigated the amusement park with a hint of exasperation. Her 3-year-old son, clutching a plush mascot from a popular Shin anime, bounced excitedly from attraction to attraction, his eyes wide with wonder. Reina, Shin's elder sister, had married into the Toyota family 3 years ago, with her husband holding a high-ranking position at Toyota. Her career with Toyota demanded a demanding schedule, leaving little time for leisurely pursuits with her son. This void had been filled by her brother-in-law, an unabashed otaku with a passion for Shin's creations. He had unwittingly, in Reina's opinion, instilled in her son an almost obsessive love for the company's characters and stories. Her current helplessness stemmed from this very obsession. Her son, despite his tender age, was deeply entrenched in the world of Shin. Video games, anime, even the merchandise, everything seemed to draw him in like a moth to a flame. Reina felt a pang of guilt, a whisper of blame directed towards her busy schedule and her brother-in-law's well-intentioned, yet perhaps overzealous, influence. "Mama, look! It's SpongeBob!" 3-year-old Sora's voice echoed with excitement as he pointed towards a cheerful yellow figure waving from the distance. It was SpongeBob, a character from the popular Shin-produced cartoon, come to life in mascot form. Reina chuckled, the exasperation on her face softening into a smile. She navigated the bustling crowds of Shin world, her son practically bouncing with anticipation. Despite the underlying frustration simmering within her, the infectious delight radiating from her son melted some of the tension. She crouched down to meet his gaze, her lips curving into a genuine smile. "Yes, darling, it is SpongeBob," she confirmed, her voice laced with warmth. Taking his small hand in hers, she led him closer to the towering mascot. Sora's excitement reached a fever pitch as they approached, his tiny legs churning with barely contained energy. Reaching the designated photo spot, Reina knelt again, adjusting her digital camera to capture the perfect moment. She snapped a picture, capturing the pure joy on Sora's face as he beamed beside the iconic cartoon character. However, beneath the surface of her smile, a faint flicker of frustration lingered. While she couldn't deny the joy on her son's face, a part of her couldn't help but place a sliver of blame. Her brother, Shinro, the mastermind behind Shin's countless and highly successful IPs, received a silent grumble. "That damn brat," she muttered under her breath, an exasperated tone escaping her lips. Chapter 394, Shin's Impact. Sunlight streamed through the windows of a Tokyo high school, painting the bustling hallway in warm hues. Among the walking of students, Hidori, a young man with a twinkle in his eyes, navigated his way to the familiar door marked Game Developers Club. Fueled by the legendary creations of Shin's founder, starting with the iconic Super Mario, Hidori and his close friends had embarked on becoming a game developers. Despite initial disapproval from their parents, their determination hadn't wavered. With the unwavering support of their video game-loving sensei, they had their own club and space within the school. Pushing open the clubroom door, Hidori was greeted by the familiar hum of KSP games and the animated chatter of his friends. He spotted Hiro, one of his closest friends, waving excitedly from his seat. "Hidori, check this out!" Hiro called, his voice brimming with enthusiasm. "There's a new game for KSP, and it's one of your favorites." Curiosity tugging him forward, Hidori approached his friends huddled around a KSP. "What game's got you guys so engrossed?" he asked, eyebrows raised. "It's the new Ace Attorney game," chimed in Itadori, a mischievous glint in his eyes. Hidori's surprise was audible. "Seriously? I loved the first one. Been waiting for a sequel forever." He practically lunged over, peering at the screen with unbridled enthusiasm. Hiro grinned and handed the KSP with Hidori. "So this is the new game? So its name is Phoenix, right? Ace Attorney, Justice for All," Hidori said thoughtfully, already navigating the menus with practiced ease. "Did you know lawyers actually recommended the first game?" Apparently, some older folks who aren't usually big on video games really found the Ace Attorney series engaging, maybe because it reminded them of chess using logic and wit to solve cases. You learn from your opponents, strategize, and fight for justice. That's the kind of game we want to create. His friends nodded in agreement. They, too, had been inspired by the Ace Attorney series, its unique blend of logic, storytelling, and engaging characters. They dreamt of developing games that would shatter stereotypes and bridge the generational gap, proving that video games could be powerful tools for learning, reflection, and even social change. Among the desks stacked with code manuals and game design sketches, Hidori hunched over the KSP, fingers flying across the keyboard. A chuckle escaped his lips, mingled with a sigh. "I'm so deep in our game development that I completely missed the new Ace Attorney update," he said. Mika, another dedicated member of the club with a shared passion for video games, glanced up from her own screen. "Maybe you should take a break, Hidori-san," she suggested kindly. "Even the most dedicated game developer needs to recharge." Hidori shook his head with a determined smile. "Nah, just a little further. We're so close to finishing our game, I can almost taste it." Their creation was a unique color-matching game destined for the KSP platform. The group has been using Unreal Engine, known for its versatility and robust features. It was the software provided by the Shin itself to support smaller studios, allowing the high school club to develop stunning visuals and smooth animations. They were currently diving into the complicated of programming combos, crafting engaging animations, and meticulously building their own resource pack, ensuring every element aligned with their vision. Their project wasn't a direct descendant of the famous Ace Attorney series, the source of their initial inspiration. Instead, it carved its own path, a unique puzzle experience built on the foundation of color matching. Yet, while the gameplay mechanics differed, the core values remained the same: fun and educational, hand in hand. Their game wasn't just about matching colors and solving puzzles, each element held a deeper purpose. As players progressed, they not only mastered the mechanics but also unraveled puzzles, adding a layer of intrigue and encouraging critical thinking. While vastly different from the iconic Tetris, their creation shared a similar spirit, a game that was both fun and accessible. Shin's influence wasn't confined to Hidori's club. Across Japan, and indeed, the globe, many young minds were ignited by the charm of video games. From the sprawling adventures of The Legend of Zelda to the horror yet whimsical charm of Undertale, each pixelated world offered an escape, a challenge, and a wellspring of inspiration. Hidori and his friends were just one example of this phenomenon. Their game, born from their love for Shin's video games, was a proof to the company's far-reaching impact. Shin, the person that inspired many, leaned back in his chair, a faint smile playing on his lips. News reports flashed across the television screen, detailing the growing hype surrounding Microsoft's upcoming console launch. He understood the potential threat this posed. BlackRock and Vanguard, the colossal financial institutions backing Microsoft, were forces to be reckoned with. In comparison, Shin, though successful, felt like a nimble fighter facing a heavyweight champion. Direct competition seemed unwise. Shin's gaze drifted to a document on his desk, the video game case named Halo, an ambitious new game set in a sprawling sci-fi universe. Its innovative gameplay and immersive narrative had the potential to capture the hearts and minds of gamers worldwide. A quiet confidence settled over Shin. Shin wouldn't engage in a brute force battle. Instead, Shin would leverage his strengths, which is by knowing the future and innovative games. Halo was one of Shin's trump card to face the upcoming attacks of Microsoft with the backing of the titans such as BlackRock and Vanguard. Chapter 395, Towards the Big Market. The Microsoft conference buzzed with anticipation. All eyes were on the stage, waiting for the unveiling of the rumored Xbox console. For months, gaming communities had been abuzz with speculation, theories, and fervent hopes. Microsoft, known for its software and PC hardware, was making a bold move, entering the console market, a territory fiercely dominated by Shin and their iconic PS2 console. Gamers, a notoriously diverse and opinionated bunch, had mixed reactions to the news. Some saw it as a potential shake-up, a chance for innovation and increased competition. Others remained loyal to the PS2, cherishing its established library and loyal community. Still others expressed cautious optimism, interested to see what Microsoft could bring to the table. The year 2000 found Shin poised for expansion, its sights set on the burgeoning Chinese market. With the PS2 console captivating gamers worldwide and the iPod revolutionizing portable music, a strategic partnership seemed inevitable. Enter Tencent, a rising star in China's digital landscape, eager to leverage its vast network and local expertise. Shin's desire to enter the vast Chinese market was no secret. For years, they had dipped their toes in the water, negotiating deals with local companies to distribute toys, merchandise, and even anime and movies. Their success in these ventures fueled their ambition to bring their core products, video game consoles and handhelds, to this massive audience. However, the Chinese government's historically cautious stance towards video games presented a daunting obstacle. Concerns about content, censorship, and potential social impacts often overshadowed the economic potential of the industry. Shin was left watching other global players, like Suzuki and Tora, and even Microsoft, struggle to navigate the complex regulatory environment with limited success. Yet, a gradual shift seemed to be underway. The winds of change, driven by economic reforms and a growing tech-savvy population, were blowing gently in Shin's favor. The government, recognizing the potential of the gaming industry, began exploring ways to regulate and monetize it while upholding cultural values. This is where Tencent, China's digital rising company, entered the picture. Sensing an opportunity to capitalize on the evolving market, Tencent saw Shin as a strategic partner. Their extensive network, local expertise, and understanding of the regulatory landscape made them ideally positioned to guide Shin's entry. Negotiations commenced in a discreet Beijing conference room, a stark contrast to the vibrant streets just outside. Representing Shin was Li Han, a man seasoned in the art of deal-making. His calm demeanor and sharp intellect belied the weight of responsibility he carried on his shoulders. His mission: secure a partnership that would grant Shin access to China's millions of potential customers. Across the table sat Tencent's delegation, led by the ambitious Ma Huiteng. He saw Shin's technology as a key to unlock new avenues for his company, offering entertainment and connectivity to China's rapidly growing tech-savvy population. The discussions were far from simple. Cultural nuances clashed with commercial interests, language barriers blurred meanings, and competing visions for the future of technology danced in the air. Li Han, with his years of international experience, navigated the complexities with practiced ease. He understood the importance of cultural sensitivity, tailoring his arguments to resonate with his counterparts while remaining firm on Shin's core principles. Ma Huiteng, too, proved a formidable negotiator. He recognized the immense potential of the partnership but sought guarantees tailored to Tencent's strategic goals. His vision extended beyond mere distribution. He saw an opportunity to develop and customize products for the Chinese market, catering to local preferences and trends. Li Han, seasoned in the art of international deals, calmly countered Tencent's latest proposition. He and his young, visionary leader, Shin, had anticipated Tencent's request. In fact, they almost welcomed it. It mirrored a similar offer Shin had made years ago with Samstar, a Korean electronics giant. Back then, it had proven fruitful, leading to a successful line of customized products tailored to the Korean market. While we appreciate Tencent's desire to develop and customize our products, Li Han began, his voice measured and respectful, Shin has a proven track record of success in adapting its technology to different regions. We've collaborated with partners like Samstar to create products that resonate with local audiences while maintaining the core strengths of our brand. He paused, allowing his words to sink in. Across the table, Ma Huiteng, the head of Tencent's delegation, listened intently, his expression unreadable. However, Li Han continued, a hint of a smile playing on his lips, "We're always open to exploring mutually beneficial partnerships. Perhaps we could create a joint committee, tasked with identifying areas where development could enhance the user experience and cater to the specific needs of the Chinese market." This shift in focus was strategic. It acknowledged Tencent's desire for involvement while subtly placing the reins in Shin's hands. It also opened the door for a collaborative process, fostering trust and shared ownership of the project's success. The room fell silent once more, charged with unspoken calculations and strategic considerations. Ma Huiteng's eyes flickered, his gaze lingering on Li Han's figure, but beneath his unreadable expression was a bit of helplessness. He didn't expect for Shin to be tougher than it looks. Time passed, days turned into weeks, each offer countered, each demand analyzed. The air crackled with tension, both sides aware of the potential rewards and risks at stake. Chapter 396, Strong Presence. The year 2000 hummed with anticipation in China's burgeoning tech scene. News of a landmark partnership between Shin, the global gaming giant, and Tencent, the rising star of China's digital landscape, spread like wildfire. For years, Chinese gamers had yearned for access to Shin's coveted consoles and iconic titles like Super Mario, The Legend of Zelda, and Resident Evil. These games, whispered about and traded on the grey market, had become legendary, fueling a growing desire for officially sanctioned access. The negotiation process had been long and complex. Shin, with its established global presence, sought a strong local partner to navigate the intricacies of the Chinese market. Tencent, with its vast network and growing influence, saw the partnership as a chance to unlock a new avenue for entertainment and potentially gain valuable technological expertise. Shin's offer to aid Tencent's expansion into other parts of the world, coupled with Shin owning a strategic minority stake in the company, eventually sealed the deal. For Chinese gamers, the news was electrifying. Forums buzzed with excitement, Tencent website posts erupted with joy, and anticipation filled the air. Many had grown up playing pirated versions of Shin games. Now, the prospect of experiencing these worlds officially, with proper technical support and community engagement, felt like a dream come true. While the Shin Tencent deal sparked widespread excitement among many Chinese gamers, it wasn't without its detractors. A vocal minority expressed concerns about the influence of Japanese culture on Chinese youth. These concerns stemmed partly from historical tensions between the two nations, particularly memories of World War II. By 2000, Shin had established a significant presence in India, fueled by the growing relationship between the Japanese and Indian governments. This collaboration encompassed various spheres, including economic partnerships and cultural exchange programs, paving the way for Shin's expanding influence. In bustling cities like Mumbai, Shin gaming cafes became popular hangouts. These vibrant spaces pulsed with the excitement of arcade classics like fighting games and racing titles, offering young Indians a window into the world of Japanese gaming culture. Beyond entertainment, Shin also contributed to education through its innovative educational video games. Designed specifically for the Indian market, these titles focused on crucial subjects like math, languages, and typing, utilizing Shin's unique keyboard controller. These games not only entertained but also fostered problem-solving skills and computer literacy among children, contributing to their overall development. However, video games in India weren't without their critics. Concerns about potential negative influences like violence and addiction, particularly among the youth, were voiced by some, especially older generations. This led to debates about censorship and age-appropriate content, reflecting the ongoing struggle to balance entertainment with social responsibility. Despite the concerns, the positive impacts of video games were undeniable. Shin's presence contributed to the Indian economy through job creation, technology transfer, and increased consumer spending. More importantly, educational games played a crucial role in supplementing traditional learning, making it more engaging and interactive for children. It's true that humanity often tends to focus on the negative aspects of new technologies like video games. In this world, the two forces coexist, such as the coexistence of both positive and negative influences of entertainment. While some older generations remained wary, a significant portion of the youth, particularly those exposed to Shin's educational titles, were being positively influenced. This sparked an interest in tech and programming, potentially leading them to become the future game developers of India. There is also a positive impact of video games on the Indian economy. Not only did Shin's presence create jobs and contribute to technological advancements, but the growing gaming market also spurred the development of local studios and talent. Shin's influence in India extended beyond gaming in 2000. Its subsidiary, WorldCom ISP, had entered the market just a year prior, aiming to shake up the nascent internet landscape. While established local internet service providers, ISPs, had a head start, WorldCom brought fresh competition and a focus on innovative technologies. WorldCom's initial journey wasn't easy. The established players enjoyed brand recognition and entrenched customer bases. However, WorldCom quickly carved a niche thanks to its commitment to service quality and competitive pricing. Customers, frustrated with slow speeds and limited support from their existing providers, were drawn to WorldCom's reliable connections and responsive customer service. This influx of customer loyalty forced the local ISPs to respond. Faced with losing market share, they were compelled to upgrade their infrastructure and improve their service offerings. Gradually, internet speeds increased, and customer support became more responsive across the industry. In a way, WorldCom's entry acted as a catalyst, pushing the entire Indian internet market towards better service and faster connectivity. The impact wasn't limited to speed and service. WorldCom's arrival also stimulated competition in pricing, making internet access more affordable for a wider segment of the Indian population. This, in turn, fueled further growth in internet adoption, accelerating the country's digital revolution. While WorldCom's initial struggles highlighted the challenges of entering a market already with well-established competitors, their commitment to quality and innovation ultimately paid off. By pushing the bar higher, they not only benefited their own customers but also indirectly improved the service offered by all internet providers in India, playing a crucial role in bringing faster and more accessible internet to the masses. Chapter 397, The Youth's Innovations. The year 2000 witnessed a silicon supernova for NVIDIA. Their once niche graphics card business, fueled by the groundbreaking GeForce 2 series, exploded into the mainstream market. Gone were the days of catering solely to hardcore gamers. Now, sleek, powerful GPUs adorn the desktops of everyday users, transforming home entertainment and even professional design workflows. The success story was reflected in the numbers. Their revenue, once a mere trickle, had ballooned to a hefty $278 million, and it showed no signs of slowing down. The market, sensing potential, from 1 billion market cap, the company's value was pushed to a staggering $7 billion. This was a far cry from the days when a single share cost just $8 in 1999. Now, those same shares were trading at around $100. Their groundbreaking 3D technology also had found its way into the hands of industry giants. Besides Shin was utilizing it for the console PS2, Microsoft also utilized it. The highly anticipated Xbox console would be sporting Nvidia's tech under the hood. This was validation on a global scale, solidifying their position as a leader in the field. While Nvidia was reaping the rewards, the real beneficiary seemed to be Shin. They held a significant chunk of Nvidia's stock, dwarfing even the investments of major players like BlackRock and Vanguard. This meant that while Nvidia's success was undeniable, a large portion of the wealth it generated was flowing elsewhere. While Shin undoubtedly profited from its substantial Nvidia stock holding, their relationship wasn't solely about financial gain. Shin also played a role in fueling Nvidia's growth by reinvesting a portion of its earnings back into the company. These investments supported the development of cutting-edge 3D technology and powerful processors, key drivers of Nvidia's success. However, this support came with a caveat: most of the technologies developed through this collaboration were patented under Shin. This intellectual property ownership gave them significant leverage in the industry and ensured a share of the profits generated by these innovations. Riding the wave of Nvidia's advancements, Shin's development of its next-generation console, the PS3, progressed well. Their handheld console research also progressed well. The goal was to create a handheld even more optimized and powerful than its predecessor, the first-generation KSP. This ambition was fueled by the synergies with Nvidia technology and Shin's own investments. However, progress wasn't without its challenges. Balancing the KS3 and KSP development with another ambitious project, the iPhone research in collaboration with Apple stretched resources and slowed progress of console development slightly. Electronic Arts, now firmly under the wing of Shin, had soared to new heights with the success of The Sims and other popular titles. The company, once started in a humble garage, now boasted impressive brick-and-mortar presences in New York, Los Angeles, and beyond, with its Redwood City headquarters serving as the central hub. Inside the bustling San Francisco HQ, a buzz of excitement filled the development department. Discussions centered around their upcoming release for the KSP console, Bejeweled, a captivating game of matching colorful gems inspired from the Japanese game. Just a month prior, a KSP game had taken Japan by storm. Developed by a high school club and christened, the game's name Colorful Match Puzzle, became a success and sparked a wave of inspiration across the industry, with studios, whether small or big, eager to capitalize on its innovative gameplay. The appeal of Colorful Match Puzzle lay in its accessibility. Its mechanics were relatively simple, making it an addictive pastime for players of all ages and skill levels. Recognizing this potential, even Electronic Arts, a major player, saw an opportunity to create their own version. The EA developers undoubtedly injected their own creativity and design choices, tailoring the experience for a global audience and leveraging their extensive industry experience. Shin's fingers danced across the KSP screen, guiding cascading gems in Colorful Match Puzzle. Created by a group of high schoolers, the game had captivated KSP gamers with its simple yet addictive gameplay. He couldn't help but be impressed by their ingenuity and the fresh perspective they brought to the gaming industry. In an industry dominated by established giants, these young minds had dared to innovate, carving a niche with their fresh perspective. Here was a game that wasn't built on vast resources or years of experience, but on raw talent and a spark of ingenuity. It was a testament to the fact that innovation doesn't discriminate based on company size, but rather thrives on the creative spirit of its individuals. News reports heard by Shin, detailing the frenzy surrounding the high school game developers. Gaming studios, both big and small, were vying for their talent. Renowned names like Tora, Suzuki, and even Microsoft were throwing their hats into the ring, eager to secure the creative young minds. While the core gameplay mechanics evoked a sense of familiarity with Candy Crush from his past life, Shin felt a surge of optimism. While Shin undoubtedly fueled technological advancements and bankrolled major releases, it sometimes felt like a homogenizing force, churning out sequels and safe bets. Here, in this new reality, the gaming landscape was solely shaped by the colossal presence of his company, Shin. However, these high school students, with their creations, had proven that innovation could still bloom without fully relying on him or his company. Chapter 398, Role Models and Release of Halo. Hidori, the unassuming high schooler, and his friends never imagined their passion for video game development would catapult them into the spotlight. Their creation, colorful match puzzle, a captivating game born within their small club, had exploded in popularity, taking the KSP console by storm. Overnight, their success transformed their lives, turning their once overlooked club into a magnet for attention. Shin, the giant entertainment conglomerate, secured a distribution deal, securing them a healthy revenue stream while taking a modest royalty fee. Suddenly, the cash flow allowed them to upgrade equipment, acquire new computers and softwares, and even dream of expanding their club to accommodate the growing interest. The club, once regarded with indifference, became a beacon of excitement. Students who once scoffed at Hitori's dedication to video games now sought entry, eager to be part of the success. The club's membership swelled, filled with enthusiastic newcomers who shared their passion for gaming and development. Even the school administration took notice. The principal, who previously held a reserved view of video games, lauded their achievement, recognizing the potential of their club to cultivate valuable skills and foster creativity. Hitori's friends, once dismissed as geeks and anime nerds, found themselves the envy of their peers, celebrated for their talent and ingenuity. Also, the talented teenager and his friends found themselves bombarded with offers. Tora, Suzuki, Microsoft, Namco, Shinroad's every major video game studio seemed eager to secure their talents. But amidst the whirlwind, Hitori and his friends remained anchored. They had a different dream, a shared ambition that surpassed the allure of immediate success. They wanted to build their own studio, to create games on their own terms, shaping their own company. Their decision resonated deeply with the gaming community. Hitori and his friends became accidental role models, proving that a successful video game didn't require a multi-million-dollar budget or years of industry experience. Their story instilled hope in countless individuals who had previously felt their own aspirations were out of reach. Suddenly, the idea of creating their own games didn't seem like a distant fantasy, but a possibility. The release of Shin's latest title, Halo, for the PS2 console sent ripples of excitement through the gaming community. With its arrival, the already burgeoning library of games on the PS2 gained another heavyweight contender. While established players like Shinroads, Namco, and Kuma Games had already populated the platform with their offerings, many gamers felt a pang of dissatisfaction. While some titles from these studios were very good, many lacked that certain charm that truly captivating games possess. Gamers yearned for an experience that would push the boundaries of the console and leave them awestruck. Enter Halo, a game that Shin, renowned for its discerning taste in quality gaming, had confidently brought to the table. From the moment the game's trailers hit the airwaves, anticipation soared. Shin's reputation for excellence preceded them, and gamers eagerly awaited the chance to play the video game in their console. And when Halo finally landed, it did not disappoint. Gamers everywhere in Japan was charmed by the game's immersive world, its captivating storyline, and its innovative gameplay mechanics. The graphics were visually stunning, pushing the PS2's capabilities to their limits and delivering a level of detail that had rarely been seen before. The soundtrack was equally impressive, perfectly complementing the game's atmosphere and drawing players even deeper into its world. But it was the gameplay that truly set Halo apart. Shin's developers had masterfully crafted a system that was both intuitive and challenging, offering an experience that was accessible to newcomers while still providing depth and complexity for seasoned gamers. Halo was not only a hit with gamers, but also garnered widespread critical acclaim. Reviewers lauded the game's innovation, its technical prowess, and its ability to deliver an exceptional gaming experience. With the PS2 consolidating its position as an invincible player in the console market, all eyes were on Microsoft's upcoming Xbox entry. Experts and analysts couldn't help but speculate whether the software giant could hold its own against the formidable Shin, a company synonymous with gaming dominance. The pressure on Microsoft's video game and electronics department was palpable. Shin, with its years of established presence, had cultivated an almost invincible image in the eyes of many. Their consoles, handhelds, and even the ubiquitous iPod music player embodied a sense of premium quality and cutting-edge technology. While some major players had managed to carve out niche markets, none had truly challenged Shin's throne anymore in the video game industry. However, Microsoft had its own strengths. They possessed a vast software library, a loyal following drawn to their PC gaming dominance, and a reputation for pushing technological boundaries. Their upcoming Xbox boasted impressive hardware specifications and promised a unique online ecosystem. The potential clash between these two titans was a topic of heated debate. Some believed Microsoft's entry into the console market was inevitable, and their resources could shake Shin's dominance. Others argued that Shin's established brand loyalty and deep understanding of the hardware-software synergy would be difficult to surpass. Chapter 399, Shin entering China. November 2000. A momentous day for Chinese gamers. The highly anticipated KS2, rebranded as the TK PlayStation 2 for the Chinese market, was finally released. While the name and casing might have been tweaked, the excitement remained the same. Tencent, a rising company, spearheaded the distribution, offering the console through their physical stores and partnered distributors. Lines snaked around Tencent stores and partner distributors, buzzing with anticipation. For many, like Ren Xin, an early bird in the queue, the wait had been excruciating. Finally, I can play Metal Gear Solid 2 without those annoying interruptions, he exclaimed, echoing the sentiment of many around him who bought pirated video games. Resident Evil 3, the latest Zelda, the possibilities seemed endless. But the excitement wasn't confined to younger generations. Parents in their 20s and 30s, their own childhoods filled with pixelated adventures, mingled in the crowds. Nostalgia fueled their decisions. Super Mario, a video game classic, and Mario Kart, promising family fun, were popular choices, not just for their children but for themselves as well. Stepping into the bustling store, Ren Xin's heart thumped with anticipation. Finally, the wait was over. The TK PlayStation 2, the gateway to countless adventures, awaited his purchase. Ignoring the rows of peripherals and accessories, Ren Xin's eyes scanned directly for the game shelves. A smile tugged at his lips as he spotted old favorites like Final Fantasy VII, a KS1 classic now playable on the new console. Memories of late-night battles and emotional journeys flickered in his mind. But nostalgia wasn't all that called to him. The gleaming cases of Need for Speed and Gran Turismo 2 promised adrenaline-fueled races and the roar of virtual engines. He could almost feel the grip of the controller in his hands. Finally, he reached for the Holy Grail, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. Memories of a frustrating experience with a pirated version on a weak KS2 replica console still stung. Glitches, low frame rates, and constant crashes had marred his initial immersion into the game's world. This time, things would be different. Ren Xin, a software engineer by day, had diligently saved his earnings, knowing this moment would come. The sleek TK PlayStation 2 wasn't just a purchase, it was an investment in pure, unadulterated gaming pleasure. The anticipation crackled in the air as Ren Xin entered the house, a mischievous grin plastered across his face. His siblings, glued to the TV, perked up at his arrival, their eyes widening in surprise as he brandished a sleek black box, the KS2. Cheers erupted as he declared, "It's finally here." The living room transformed into a bustling hub of activity. Ren Xin, his family gathered around him, carefully connected the KS2 to their television. A collective sigh of awe escaped their lips as the device hummed to life, bathing the room in a soft blue glow. The familiar logos of Tencent, Shin, and KS2 flashed across the screen, building the excitement. Then came the moment they'd all been waiting for. With a flick of the wrist, Ren Xin inserted the Resident Evil 3 game cartridge. The iconic logos gave way to the chilling intro sequence, sending shivers down their spines. The haunting melody and gruesome visuals painted a vivid picture of the impending zombie apocalypse. As the game's menu materialized, a lively discussion ensued. Ren Xion's younger brother, eyes sparkling with anticipation, bombarded him with questions about the new console's capabilities. His sister, cautious, expressed concern about the game's intensity. Even Ren Xion parents were affected by the lively enthusiasm they had for video games. For console gamers, one of the most cherished aspects of the experience was the ability to connect with family. Unlike the emerging future of PC gaming, where solo play and online interactions dominated, console gaming offered a unique space for shared laughter, triumphs, and even friendly competition within the family circle. Huddled around a TV, passing controllers and cheering each other on, there's a unique bond forged through the shared journey of a video game world. The laughter, the groans, the triumphant high fives, these are the memories that go beyond just the game itself. One day, as the landscape of gaming evolved, console enthusiasts might find themselves reminiscing about these simpler times. They'd recall the shared laughter echoing in the living room, the thrill of a close-fought victory celebrated together. Especially with the PC gaming, fueled by the gradual rise of the internet, was making its presence known in China. Shin, strategically capitalized on this trend. They were granted permission to operate internet and gaming cafes, seizing the opportunity to establish a presence in this burgeoning market. Within a few months, 3 Shin cafes opened their doors in Beijing, attracting customers drawn to the brand's global recognition despite its previous absence in the country. However, Shin wasn't the only player in this evolving landscape. Many internet cafes already existed in Beijing, offering diverse experiences and catering to a growing demand. One particular PC game, Counter-Strike, began to captivate Chinese gamers. Its competitive, team-based nature resonated with the audience, fueling its popularity. However, its impact wasn't without concerns. Some students, caught in the fervor, skipped school to play, even engaging in betting against each other. This raised questions about the potential negative consequences of excessive online gaming. Chapter 400, Console Wars. December 2000 in Japan witnessed a vibrant scene for gamers, who enjoyed access to cutting-edge titles before many other parts of the world. This was largely due to the dominance of Shin, a leading video game company that released both console and PC games, often prioritizing their Japanese market. However, the story goes beyond Shin's influence. This period coincided with a significant boom in the Japanese internet industry, fueled by the arrival of Shin's WorldCom ISP. This formidable competitor in the market sparked healthy competition, pushing the entire industry forward. Shin's commitment to internet technologies and innovative marketing campaigns played a crucial role in driving internet adoption, making it an accessible tool for many. The impact was tangible. Websites started featuring images and videos, albeit of lower quality compared to future standards. Yet, it represented a significant leap forward in user experience. But the advancements didn't stop there. WorldCom's development of a content delivery network, CDN, proved visionary. And also partnering with early CDN providers, they optimized content delivery and reduced latency, significantly improving the user experience for downloads, streaming, and online gaming elements that would become increasingly important in the years to come. Shin's ISP service, spearheaded by its subsidiary WorldCom, went beyond simply offering internet access. They understood the need for convenience and value, pioneering bundled packages that combined internet with phone and TV cable services. They also targeted diverse sectors like education, businesses, and early digital media companies, recognizing their growing need for reliable connectivity. But Shin's vision extended beyond just service offerings. They prioritized outstanding customer service, fostering trust and loyalty in a nascent market where customer experience was paramount. They actively engaged with the community online, participating in internet policy discussions and advocating for open access and net neutrality, demonstrating their commitment to a healthy and inclusive online environment. Through these combined efforts, Shin's presence can be seen. Its innovative approach, bundled services, global expansion, and commitment to community engagement established Shin as a leading force not only in Japan, but also in the global internet landscape, such as in Asia or Europe. Their early vision and strategic decisions paved the way for future growth and solidified their place as a pioneer in the industry. In 2000, Shin's video game division released Final Fantasy IX a few months ago. And just like Final Fantasy VIII released previous year ago, it didn't achieve the same groundbreaking success as its predecessor, Final Fantasy VII, it still performed admirably, becoming one of Shin's best-selling games that year. It managed to sell over 1.8 million units within 8 months, generating estimated revenue of $88 million for Shin. This performance contributed significantly to the company's overall financial success in 2000. Shin's dominance in the gaming industry can be attributed to its portfolio of iconic titles such as Sonic the Hedgehog, Super Mario, The Legend of Zelda, and Pokémon. These franchises alone are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, with Pokémon being particularly lucrative. Competitors like Tora and Suzuki could only envy Shin's success in the gaming sector, while Microsoft, witnessing the substantial revenue flowing into Shin's coffers, became more determined to enter the gaming industry. This prompted Microsoft's key investors to support its foray into gaming, eager to challenge Shin's dominance. January 2001 marked a pivotal moment in the video game industry as Microsoft finally entered the fray with its highly anticipated Xbox console. This new contender joined the established players, Suzuki's SP128 and Shin's dominant KS2. The Xbox launched with a lineup of games developed by Microsoft's newly established studios, including Fusion Frenzy, The Legendary Gunman, and racing titles like Project Gotham Racing and Monster Truck Madness. These games catered to a variety of genres, offering something for different types of players. Microsoft's loyal fanbase embraced the Xbox, praising its performance and graphics capabilities. The console's arrival generated significant excitement, particularly among PC gamers familiar with the Microsoft brand. However, the launch of the Xbox wasn't without its strategic counterplay. Coincidentally, Shin released their new PS2 title, Halo: Combat Evolved, around the same time. While the timing might seem intentional, gamers eager for fresh experiences from Shin likely didn't dissect the release date too closely. They were simply excited to get their hands on the highly anticipated Halo, which quickly garnered widespread acclaim for its innovative gameplay. The battle for console dominance had intensified. Both Microsoft and Shin, along with established players like Suzuki, were vying for the hearts and wallets of gamers. Chapter 401, Console Wars 2 and Shin's prepping once more. Microsoft's launch of the Xbox in early 2001 marked a significant entry into the crowded console gaming market. While initial Day 1 sales satisfied investors and boosted morale within the company, subsequent days painted a more nuanced picture. While not achieving the record-breaking numbers some might have hoped for, Microsoft's video game department remained satisfied with Xbox's performance. They understood the immense challenge of competing against established industry leader Shin. Adding to the complexity, Shin's strategic release of Halo: Combat Evolved just after the Xbox launch threw another curveball. The game's immediate popularity and strong sales hinted at its potential to become a major blockbuster for Shin in 2001. Shin, the undisputed giant of the video game industry, held a remarkable position. Their mere name was a magnet for customers. A good Shin game was almost guaranteed to be a commercial success from the expert's perspective. Proof of this lay in the vast library of critically acclaimed and commercially dominant titles under their banner. While Shin's Halo: Combat Evolved undoubtedly impacted the early sales of Microsoft's Xbox. Think of it as a strategic fork in the road for many gamers. The buzz surrounding Halo, released near the Xbox's debut, undoubtedly nudged some potential Xbox buyers towards the familiar embrace of PS2. This allure stemmed from exclusive titles like Halo, experiences the Xbox couldn't offer at the time. It wasn't simply a matter of brute force competition. Shin's timing with Halo was masterful. Imagine it as a gentle reminder to gamers, hey, we still have the titles you crave, no matter how shiny the new kid on the block might seem. Sure, the Xbox boasted impressive specs, but PS2 held the cherished exclusives, like precious jewels tempting indecisive shoppers. It's true that Shin's PS2 boasted a vast and ever-expanding library of titles. Dozens of critically acclaimed games had already captured the hearts of gamers worldwide, fostering a loyal following. This established ecosystem was a significant advantage, attracting players who valued familiarity and the assurance of quality. Even in the US, a key market for Microsoft's Xbox, Shin held a strong presence. Years of consistent delivery and brand recognition played a crucial role. The name Shin resonated with many casual gamers, becoming synonymous with the very concept of video games. This brand recognition was a powerful force, offering a sense of security and familiarity to those hesitant to embrace a new platform. While Shin's video game prowess was undeniable, their reach extended far beyond consoles and controllers. Their iconic mascot character, coupled with a diverse range of products like toys, merchandise, and even amusement parks, fostered a deeper connection with consumers. Growing up with Shin products, from educational software to Legos, created a sense of nostalgia and brand loyalty. This multifaceted approach helped Shin embed itself into the cultural fabric, not just as a gaming company, but as a brand for families and entertainment. Investors found the company's diverse portfolio and established brand appealing, even considering investments in subsidiaries of Shin. However, due to Shin's status as a privately held company under Shinro Suzuki's sole ownership, such investments remained just that, dreams. As 2001 rolled on, Shin, despite his generally positive outlook, found himself occasionally haunted by unsettling thoughts. The shadow of a looming event, one that had shaken the world in his previous life, lingered at the edges of his mind. The specter of 9/11 cast a long and unsettling shadow, even in this parallel reality. While Shin couldn't be sure if these events were destined to repeat themselves in this alternate timeline, a part of him urged caution. He remembered the profound impact the attacks had on the global economy, particularly on the superpower United States, whose financial tremors reverberated across the world. Since arriving in this parallel world, Shin had witnessed echoes of familiar events unfolding, mirroring those of his past life. This unnerving sense of déjà vu fueled his anxieties about a potential repeat of 9/11s. He knew preparedness was crucial, even if uncertainty clouded the event's possibility. The looming possibility of a devastating event like 9/11s, with its ripple effects on the global economy, understandably weighed heavily on him. Driven by a desire to mitigate potential harm, Shin felt compelled to prepare. He meticulously planned for how such a calamity could affect his company and subsidiaries, strategically positioning them to weather the storm. Every slight deviation from the past held the potential for unforeseen consequences, and Shin felt a responsibility to ensure his company remained resilient. The weight of this knowledge burdened him. He yearned to warn his father, the chairman of Suzuki Group, but revealing his secret, his ability to glimpse into the future, would be disastrous. And after all, Suzuki Group wasn't his company, it belonged to his family. Chapter 402, Shin Video Game Department. The early 2000s saw a fierce battle brewing in the video game industry. With the arrival of Microsoft's Xbox, the market share of established players like Suzuki's SP128 console faced a decline in USA market. In response, Suzuki's video game department, led by its key executives, convened to strategize. Taking inspiration from Kishin's earlier move against Xbox, Suzuki opted for a preemptive strike. They accelerated the development and release of their next major title, aiming to capitalize on a potential gap in Xbox's game library. This strategy initially proved successful, with Xbox facing significant challenges in its early months. Suzuki's sales stabilized, temporarily regaining their market share. However, Microsoft, with its vast resources and software expertise, wasn't easily deterred. They countered by investing heavily in developing original titles for Xbox and actively pursuing collaborations with other studios. This tactic aimed to quickly expand the console's game library, addressing a key weakness highlighted by Suzuki's strategy. Many studios, enticed by the potential for significant profit and Microsoft's relatively low royalty fees compared to Suzuki and Kishin, readily agreed to collaborate. The influx of diverse games could bolster Xbox's offerings, making it a more attractive proposition for gamers. While the video game console wars raged, a sense of calm prevailed within the halls of Kishin. Unlike their competitors facing the direct heat of the Xbox's arrival, Kishin remained focused on its own unique path. This allowed developers like Takeru and his team to flourish, free from the immediate pressures of the market battle. Driven by a shared passion, Takeru and his colleagues poured their hearts into a project that held immense potential. They were developing a game called Monster Hunter, a concept envisioned by Takeru's idol, the legendary Shinro Suzuki. At its core, Monster Hunter offered a novel approach to action RPGs. Players weren't just warriors wielding swords and magic, they were skilled hunters venturing into diverse environments to track and slay formidable beasts. The gameplay loop revolved around meticulous preparation, strategic encounters, and thrilling battles. While Monster Hunter was their primary focus, Takeru and his team couldn't ignore the allure of another project on their plate, Devil May Cry, designed by the genius Shinro Suzuki. This stylish action game, once again conceived by their idol, presented a stark contrast to the sprawling hunts of Monster Hunter. Devil May Cry was a whirlwind of acrobatic combat, flashy combos, and demonic encounters. The protagonist, Dante, exuded an irreverent charm, wielding twin pistols and a demonic blade with equal mastery. Takeru and his team were captivated by the game's unique blend of its stylish action. Devil May Cry departed from traditional button-mashing combat. Players were rewarded for chaining together attacks with fluidity and flair, creating visually stunning and strategic combos. And the protagonist's powers was also unique. Dante's demonic heritage would manifest in powerful abilities. He could unleash devastating attacks, transform into demonic forms, and utilize supernatural speed and agility. This added another layer of strategic depth to the already complex combat system. And the narrative would blend gritty noir themes with tongue-in-cheek humor. Dante, a charismatic anti-hero, would balance his demon-hunting duties with a sardonic wit and rebellious attitude. The world would be steeped in mystery, with cryptic clues hinting at a larger conspiracy beneath the surface. While these were exciting ideas, translating them into gameplay presented challenges, such as balancing style and substance. Maintaining a balance between flashy combos and meaningful gameplay depth proved crucial. The team wouldn't want the style to overshadow the strategic elements of combat. And they also have to refine enemy design. Enemies needed to be diverse and challenging enough to warrant switching weapons and utilizing different tactics. Each encounter should encourage players to engage with the full spectrum of Dante's abilities. And also revising the narrative to be more compelling, and balancing humor and noir elements required careful writing and world building. The team needed to ensure the story resonated with players emotionally while maintaining its unique tone. Despite these hurdles, Takeru and his team were determined to translate their idol, Shin's vision into a reality. They believed that Devil May Cry had the potential to become a genre-defining experience, pushing the boundaries of action games with its stylish combat, charismatic protagonist, and intriguing world. Working on Shinro Suzuki's projects, both Monster Hunter and Devil May Cry, had a profound impact on Takeru and his team. They weren't merely developing games, they were immersing themselves in the mind of a creative genius. Each concept was a fresh breath of air, pushing boundaries and defying expectations. From the immersive world and unique gameplay loop of Monster Hunter to the stylish action and captivating narrative of Devil May Cry, Shinro's creations were unlike anything on the market. This consistent stream of groundbreaking ideas sparked awe and admiration within the team. They found themselves constantly analyzing and dissecting Shinro's work, trying to unlock the secrets behind his seemingly limitless well of inspiration. Was it his extensive experience in the industry? His keen understanding of player psychology? They recognized that understanding Suzuki's creative process could unlock new avenues for their own designs, allowing them to push the boundaries of the medium further. Chapter 403, Bonding and Surprise. In February 2001, the opulent Suzuki residence bustled with activity as the family gathered to celebrate the birthday of patriarch Shiro Suzuki. Among the guests were Shin and Myra, along with their 9-year-old son Shinichi and 2-year-old daughter Mikasa. Mikasa, with her cuteness charm, quickly stole the hearts of her great-grandparents, Samaza and Kumiko, as well as her grandpa and grandma, Shiro and Eri. The expansive garden of the residence provided a lively setting for the celebration, filled with laughter and joyful chatter. As Shin was the gathering, murmurs rippled among his arriving cousins. At a young age, he had already established himself as the successful young chairman of the Kishin Corporation, commanding respect and perhaps a tinge of envy from his younger relatives. Even some of his uncles and aunts observed him with a mix of admiration and unspoken resentment. Amidst the festive atmosphere, Shin's siblings reunited. His second brother, Shiryu, seemed to be thriving with his career and relationship, while his relationship with his first and third brothers remained distant. While his reunion with his second sister was doing great as usual. As the celebration progressed, Reina, Shin's older sister, arrived with her husband Tatsuo Toyota and their 4-year-old son, Sora. While greetings were exchanged cordially, despite their strained relationship, Shin greeted Reina with a smile, exchanging pleasantries with her and Tatsuo. Upon seeing Sora, Shin remarked, "He looks quite like me, wouldn't you say, Shin?" His comment drew amused chuckles from some family members, including his second and third brothers. While Myra, Shin's wife, felt a twinge of embarrassment, Reina simply laughed and playfully swatted him on the shoulder. "What nonsense!" she exclaimed, a smile playing on her lips. "Look at his nose, clearly inherited from me." Sora, oblivious to the playful banter, continued his meal alongside Shinichi, seemingly unperturbed by the attention. As the Suzuki family gathered for Shiro's birthday celebration, a sense of warmth, albeit temporary, filled the air. Despite past business disagreements and individual agendas, a truce seemed to exist for the sake of the occasion. Shin, his brothers and even his cousins like Shoki exchanged pleasantries, momentarily setting aside their differences to honor the chairman of the Suzuki group. During the meal, Shoki approached Shin, seemingly seeking business advice. Shin, actually a shrewd and helpful individual, offered counsel without hesitation. This exchange showcased a glimmer of cooperation, hinting at a potential bridge between them. However, beneath the surface, Ctto, Shoki's father, the Suzuki Group's vice-chairman, appeared to have ulterior motives. His subtle nudges towards Shoki suggested an attempt to rekindle a business bond with Shin, possibly for Ctto's own strategic purposes. Meanwhile, lighter interactions unfolded. Shin discovered his nephew, Sora, was a huge Kishin fan. When Sora realized his uncle was actually the company's CEO, his wide-eyed excitement sparked laughter throughout the family. This innocent moment provided a welcome respite from the underlying tensions, despite the visible embarrassment amongst Reina and Takeru, who likely shared a different perspective on Sora's situation. The Japanese business world and the Suzuki family were rocked by a bold announcement in late February. Kishin, the video game and toy merchandise giant, was establishing a motor subsidiary, Kishin Automobile and Motor Company. This move signaled the company's ambitious expansion into the automobile industry, raising eyebrows and sparking discussions among experts. This move sent shockwaves through the industry, with experts questioning Shin's ambition and ability to succeed in a highly competitive market. Shin had already made significant strides by entering the semiconductor industry, with limited experience of Shin. Now, venturing into automobiles further highlighted their ambitious vision. While experts acknowledged their success in video games and merchandise, particularly targeting children and young adults, doubts arose regarding their ability to navigate the highly competitive and complex automotive landscape. However, some analysts recognized Shin's strategic timing. Their sponsorship of Michael, who triumphed in the 2000 F1 World Championship, had significantly boosted brand awareness among car enthusiasts. This existing connection to the motorsports community could provide a valuable entry point into the industry. The TV News morning topic about Shin's move sparked diverse reactions among the viewers. Some celebrated Shin's audaciousness and commitment to innovation, while others expressed concerns about potential overreach and the inherent risks involved. Whether this venture would prove to be another success for Shin or a misstep remained to be seen. Chapter 404, Establishing Shin Global Esports. The year 2001 witnessed a significant surge in the video game industry's revenues, reaching $13.1 billion in the US alone. This growth solidifying the industry's importance in the global market. Among the companies reaping the most benefits was Shin, a Japanese gaming giant. Shin, under the leadership of its young chairman Shin, demonstrated impressive strides in expanding beyond its home base. Notably, it achieved success in countries like South Korea and other Asian countries, despite their complicated political relationships with Japan. Shin's adept negotiation skills and strategic approach paved the way for these crucial ventures. In South Korea, a nation still recovering from the Asian financial crisis, Shin capitalized on the rising popularity of video games. They struck a deal with the South Korean government to establish a unique avenue, a nationwide video game competition. This competition's main attraction was Starcraft, a real-time strategy game that already boasted millions of fervent players within South Korea itself. By harnessing the existing enthusiasm for the game, Shin managed to gain a strong foothold in a strategically important market. This expansion into South Korea showcased Shin's keen understanding of the global gaming landscape and its ability to adapt to diverse circumstances. Their success there, despite complex diplomatic hurdles, highlighted the growing power and economic impact of the video game industry in the early 21st century. Shin's bold move to establish a video game competition in South Korea proved highly successful, attracting a massive influx of skilled Starcraft players. The competition offered significant prize money for the top 5 teams, further incentivizing participation from regional champions and rising stars. This wasn't just a domestic event, Shin opened the competition to players from parts of Europe, the USA, and Japan, creating a truly international stage for Starcraft. This initiative, dubbed Esports, represented a groundbreaking concept. Shin was one of the first major gaming companies to organize a large-scale, international competition focused on electronic sports. This move garnered tremendous attention, marking a pivotal moment in the evolution of professional gaming. Starcraft, already beloved within South Korea, became the anchor game for the event, further solidifying its global popularity. Shin's esports competition, with Starcraft as its centerpiece, wasn't just about crowning champions. It was a pivotal moment that ignited the embers of competitive gaming on the global stage. The ripples of Shin's esports competition spread beyond South Korea, reaching the watchful eyes of industry giants like Suzuki and Microsoft's video game divisions. This bold move wasn't just about Starcraft, it ignited a firestorm of interest in electronic sports, a previously niche phenomenon. Games like Starcraft and Counter-Strike, already popular, experienced a surge in sales fueled by the excitement surrounding the competition. With the event just a week away, anticipation in South Korea, Japan, and other countries reached a fever pitch. Major internet cafes, some sponsored by Shin and others by major video game studios, scrambled to assemble their own esports teams, eager to compete on the international stage. The industry itself recognized the potential seismic shift unfolding. Shin's initiative had effectively established a blueprint for large-scale, international competitive gaming. While Suzuki video games sector saw merit in Shin's bold move, Microsoft's video game department felt compelled to analyze it further. They needed to understand the underlying strategy, the potential risks and rewards, and how it could impact their own market position. A week after the world watched with anticipation, Shin's esports competition finally kicked off its first leg in South Korea. The electrifying atmosphere echoed across local internet cafes and living rooms as professional and aspiring gamers alike battled it out in adrenaline-fueled matches of Starcraft and Counter-Strike. The competition didn't stay just to Korea. Soon, Japan, Europe, and the USA witnessed their own regional tournaments unfold, each boasting newly formed esports teams eager to prove their dominance. These regional events served as qualifiers, leading to an even grander stage, the Global Championship. To sweeten the pot, Shin offered enticing rewards. Each national champion stood to win a cool $500,000, while the ultimate global champion would be crowned with a staggering $2 million prize. It was an unprecedented sum in the early world of esports, attracting not just players but also a captive audience. Local television channels readily broadcasted the tournaments, capitalizing on the surging popularity. Viewers were drawn in by the skilled gameplay, intense rivalries, and the potential for their hometown heroes to claim victory. But beyond the individual battles, a larger narrative unfolded. Shin's esports wasn't just a competition, it was a watershed moment, legitimizing esports as a global phenomenon. For newly established esports teams, the competition wasn't just about the prize money. It was a platform to gain recognition and sponsorship opportunities. As they battled their way through the ranks, their logos and brands received valuable exposure to a rapidly growing audience. This, coupled with the potential prize money, fueled their dedication and training, further raising the overall caliber of gameplay. Suzuki, Microsoft, observing Shin on the side was enlightened. Shin's esports had inadvertently unlocked a new era in gaming. With skilled players, lucrative rewards, and widespread media coverage, esports was carving its own path as a legitimate avenue for competition, entertainment, and even professional careers. It was a game changer, and Shin had boldly positioned itself at the forefront of this transformative movement. Chapter 405, Intense Esports in SK. The esports scene in South Korea had reached a fever pitch. Even casual gamers, many miles away from the flashing screens and strategic clicks, found themselves caught up in the excitement. Televisions in homes and bars were tuned to the ongoing competition, buzzing with anticipation and friendly wagers. It was day 2 of the tournament, and the games were nearing the semi-final and final stages. The tension crackled like electricity in the air, especially during Starcraft matches. In bustling bars and casual gatherings, groups of friends and patrons excitedly placed bets on who would emerge victorious. SK Telecom T1 takes it all, declared one fan, slamming their fist on the table. Wang Ji's micro is just incredible. A dissenting voice rose from across the room. Nah, Hanwha Esports this time. Their team coordination is just too strong. Exactly, chimed in another. Starcraft is all about teamwork, not just individual skill. This ain't some solo RPG, you know. The arguments, though passionate, remained good-natured. Some proudly sported team jerseys, while others had their own DIY flags and banners for the team they supported. Then the audience watched the ongoing competition between the SK Telecom T1 and Hanwha. The Hanwha prioritized on macro play, focusing on building a strong economy and powerful army composition. Their Terran player, Kim, used a standard bio build with vultures and marines, while their Zerg player, Jujeka, went for a Mutilurker composition. Their strategy relied on map control, scouting, and strategically timed attacks to overwhelm their opponents. SK Telecom T1, led by the great player Wang Ji, employed a risky yet innovative strategy. They went for a cheese build, specifically a proxy 2 barracks Russia's Terran. This unorthodox tactic involved building 2 barracks close to Hanwha life space, allowing them to pump out marines quickly and harass their opponent's economy early on. To compensate for the lack of a traditional macro build, Wang Ji relied on his exceptional micro skills to maximize the effectiveness of his small army. The match started with Wang Ji's surprise attack catching Hanwha off guard. They struggled to defend against the constant stream of marines, losing workers and delaying their own expansion. Kim, the Terran player for Hanwha, tried to counter with vulture pushes, but Wang Ji's micro skills allowed him to minimize losses and maintain pressure. Jujeka, Hanwha's Zerg player, tried to respond with a Muta Harris, but SK Telecom T1's Zerg player, Roranoa, countered effectively with Zerglings and Hydralisks. The early aggression from SK Telecom T1 disrupted Hanwha's established strategy, throwing their timing and resource gathering off balance. Despite their initial advantage, SK Telecom T1 faced challenges as the game progressed. Hanwha eventually stabilized their economy and launched counterattacks. The match became a tense back-and-forth battle, showcasing the incredible micro skills of both teams. In the end, SK Telecom T1's unorthodox strategy, combined with Wang Ji's exceptional micro play, proved too much for Hanwha. They managed to secure a narrow victory, shocking the audience. The roar of the crowd echoed through the stadium, punctuated by the excited shouts of the commentators. "Such an intense victory!" boomed the male commentator, his voice vibrating with the energy of the match. SK Telecom T1 has secured this round. Wang Ji's gameplay was absolutely phenomenal. The female commentator chimed in, her voice laced with a hint of disbelief. "Unbelievable." Hanwha's strategy looked solid, but SK Telecom T1 just countered it brilliantly, and Wang Ji's execution can be said to be flawless. Across South Korea, living rooms and bars erupted in a cacophony of cheers and groans. The elation of victory reverberated across the stage. Wang Ji, the star player of SK Telecom T1, exchanged jubilant hugs with his teammates, their cheers echoing through the stadium. Yet, amidst the celebrations, a flicker of caution remained in Wang Ji's eyes. "We can't get complacent," he reminded them, his voice carrying the weight of their shared ambition. "We need to stay focused, overwhelm Hanwha again in the next round." His words resonated with the team. They huddled closer, listening intently as their coach outlined the battle plan. Each member absorbed the strategy, their expressions morphing from excitement to focused determination. Every detail was crucial, every move meticulously planned. They knew one misstep could cost them everything. Across the arena, a different atmosphere filled the Hanwha locker room. Their pre-match confidence had been shaken, replaced by a steely resolve. The players sat in a tight circle, faces grim as their coach analyzed the replay, dissecting Wang Ji's masterful macro play. His ability to manage his economy and churn out units seemed almost superhuman. They needed to find a way to disrupt his rhythm, to crack his impenetrable defenses. Silence hung heavy in the air as they dissected SK Telecom T1's tactics. Each weakness identified was scrutinized, each potential counter weighed and measured. They knew they were facing an uphill battle, but the fire of competition still burned bright, but they wouldn't go down without a fight. While the South Korean esports scene undoubtedly held the spotlight with its intense Starcraft competition, the buzz of competitive gaming also rose across other regions as well. In Japan, USA, and parts of Europe, national esports tournaments were underway, each with its own unique flavor and passionate fanbases. Though the intensity might not have matched the South Korean spectacle, the dedication and skill on display were undeniable. Shin, who played a pivotal role in establishing this global phenomenon, have their vision set on national competitions, together in a grand finale a World Esports Championship. Instead of the USA, as some might expect, Shin aimed to host this grand finale in Tokyo, Japan. This strategic decision resonated with Shin's promise to the government, in boosting tourism and spreading their culture. The national competitions across Japan, the USA, and Europe each held their own unique flavor. The prospect of national champions from diverse regions battling it out on the world stage captured the imagination of gamers worldwide. Chapter 406, Harry Potter Premiere. Anticipation crackled through the South Korean air as the esports arena buzzed with excitement. SK Telecom T1, fresh off a nail-biting 3-2 victory against Hanwha, stood poised for another battle. This time, however, their challengers were none other than the formidable SK Gaming. Gone were the rookies of Hanwha. SK Telecom T1 now faced titans like Junho and Mayo, veterans whose dominance in the KP Software Starcraft lobby was legendary. The pressure was immense, but SK Telecom T1 had their own secret weapon, Wang Ji, a rising star whose skill threatened to eclipse even the seasoned players of SK Gaming. The first map unfolded like a tactical chess match. Junho, known for his aggressive Terran play, clashed with Wang Ji's methodical Zerg. The crowd roared as each decision, each build order, held the potential to turn the tide. The tension was palpable, the silence broken only by the clicking of keyboards and the gasps of the audience. As the match progressed, Wang Ji's strategic brilliance began to shine through. He countered Junho's aggression with cunning maneuvers, slowly dismantling his opponent's defenses. The cheers reached a fever pitch as Wang Ji secured the first map victory, silencing the SK Gaming supporters. However, SK Gaming wouldn't go down without a fight. Mayo, their Protoss ace, stepped forward for the second map. His unorthodox strategies, honed over countless hours in the server, kept SK Telecom T1 on their toes. The match went back and forth, a thrilling display of micromanagement and strategic prowess. Beyond the ripples Shin was making in the esports scene, its subsidiary, Shin Pictures, cast a mesmerizing spell on global audiences with the premiere trailer for Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. The trailer, showcasing the fantastical world of Hogwarts and its young wizard hero, graced television screens across the United States and Japan, igniting fervent anticipation. Unlike the book's small popularity, this wide-scale marketing blitz captured the attention of critics and moviegoers alike. Following a premiere strategy similar of the Titanic launch, Shin Pictures once again chose Japan as the film's first landing site. The red carpet shimmered as the film's cast, director, and even author J.K. Rowling walked the path, greeted by the joyous cheers of small number of fans in Japan, as Harry Potter book series was translated and published by Shin in Japan. But this time, the premiere garnered even more attention. Shinro Suzuki, the chairman of Shin himself, graced the event with his presence, accompanied by his wife and children. His appearance sent a clear message: Shin Pictures was fully invested in Harry Potter. This unprecedented move drew even the attention of the gamer community in Japan. News of Shin's attendance spread like wildfire through online forums and chat rooms in Japan. Shin-san, at a movie premiere? What's going on? Their idol, the gaming icon and innovative leader of Shin, was attending a fantasy film premiere? This certainly sparked curiosity. After they watched the trailer, just from the scenes itself hinted at a world brimming with magic, a theme not unfamiliar to gamers who often found themselves immersed in fantastical video game landscapes. The lure of a new film with magical world themes proved too strong to resist. Tickets started to sell out to gamers who, while their primary passion remained esports, were willing to go beyond the competitive arena for a potential cinematic experience, clearly influenced by Shin. Meanwhile, Shinro Suzuki, accompanied by his wife Myra and their children, navigated the bustling pre-premiere scene. Despite his immense wealth and status, Shinro treated everyone with genuine warmth and respect. Even the film's director, considerably older than the young chairman, was respectful of Shin. As the lights dimmed and the film began, an entire spectrum of emotions played out in the audience. Shin watched intently, analyzing the reactions of his wife, children, and the diverse crowd surrounding them. For Shinro Suzuki, the Harry Potter premiere wasn't just a red carpet event, it was a dream realized. He had not only secured the rights to J.K. Rowling's beloved Wizarding World under the Shin banner, but its publication under his company's subsidiary added a layer of personal satisfaction. He envisioned Harry Potter taking the world by storm, adding another shining star to Shin's constellation of successful IPs. But wealth alone wasn't Shinro's driving force. He understood that a life solely focused on accumulating riches could become monotonous. For him, Shin was more than just a business venture, it was a platform to experiment, innovate, and push the boundaries of technology. He envisioned his company not just enriching his own life but also contributing to the advancement of society, shaping the future through groundbreaking research and development. He relates between himself and the billionaires of his previous life he once admired. With an estimated net worth of $44 billion, the sky seemed the limit. Like those he once idolized, Shinro harbored a personal ambition to reach for the stars, literally. He envisioned Shin venturing into aerospace in the future, building rockets that would propel humanity beyond the planet of Earth. Chapter 407, Difference in Esports Regions. While space exploration remained a distant dream for Shinro Suzuki, his immediate focus was firmly grounded on consolidating Shin's position in the semiconductor and motor industries. These sectors, unlike the video game industry, held immense potential for long-term growth and strategic diversification. Shin had already established itself as a powerhouse in the gaming world, boasting a stable of popular IPs that translated successfully into video games, anime, and lucrative merchandise. Toys, clothing, and Lego generated billions for Shin, solidifying its financial foundation. However, Shinro recognized the need to move beyond gaming's cyclical nature and explore new avenues for sustained growth. Semiconductors, the tiny chips powering everything from smartphones to cars, offered a promising path. Shin's investments in research and development aimed to secure a foothold in this crucial industry, potentially enabling them to control the flow of technology and its impact on various sectors. This strategic move, if successful, could reshape Shin from a gaming giant to a major player in the global tech landscape. The motor industry presented another exciting opportunity. Recognizing the shift towards electric vehicles in the future and autonomous driving, Shin invested heavily in developing cutting-edge technologies in these areas. However, this diversification strategy wasn't without its challenges. Entering new markets meant navigating complex regulatory landscapes, competing with established players with deep pockets, and attracting the right talent. Some voiced concerns that this diversification could lead to a decline in its core gaming and anime business. They argued that the video game industry was evolving rapidly, with new players like Microsoft's Xbox gradually chipping away at Shin's market share with the popular PS2 console. However, these analyses overlooked a crucial advantage possessed by Shinro Suzuki, his unique knowledge of the future up to 2023. This foresight granted him a significant edge in navigating the intricate landscape of the gaming industry. He understood the cyclical nature of trends and the potential shifts in audience preferences, allowing him to make strategic decisions that ensured Shin's sustained success even beyond 2023. While experts warned of potential decline, Shinro envisioned a different future. He saw Shin not just weathering the storms of competition, but evolving into an even bigger giant beyond 2023. His vision included a company fueled by a robust portfolio of innovative games and cutting-edge technologies, developed by a talented team empowered to bring his foresight to fruition. He knew that his direct involvement wouldn't be necessary forever, as he had nurtured a culture of innovation and empowered leadership within Shin. While the magical world of Harry Potter prepared to enchant audiences worldwide, the real-world battlefields of esports simmered with intense competition. In South Korea, the Starcraft scene reached fever pitch as SK Telecom T1, fresh off their dominant 4-1 victory over SK Gaming, geared up for their next challenge, SamStarCon. The April 8, 2001, match promised to be a clash of titans. SK Telecom T1, riding a wave of confidence, faced off against SamStarCon. The South Korean Starcraft scene boasted a level of intensity and professionalism unmatched in other regions. This was evident in the sheer number of highly skilled players, the rigorous training regimes, and the passionate fan base that fueled the competition. Meanwhile, in Japan, the Starcraft scene presented a different landscape. Compared to the intensity of South Korea, the competition felt less cutthroat. This didn't imply a lack of skill, but rather a different esports ecosystem with its own priorities. While Japanese Starcraft players might not reach the heights of their Korean counterparts, they excelled in other genres like Counter-Strike. This regional disparity highlighted the diverse nature of esports. Different countries cultivated strengths in different genres, fostering unique communities and rivalries. China, for example, boasted strong Starcraft players who could potentially challenge even the South Korean and trashed the Japanese esports pros. This cross-pollination of skill and competition contributed to the overall growth and excitement of the global esports scene. However, Counter-Strike offered a different story. Both Japan and the US boasted thriving Counter-Strike communities, often at the forefront of the competitive scene. Counter-Strike, a tactical first-person shooter video game developed and published by Shin, had become a global phenomenon. It wasn't just popular among the younger generation, even older gamers in Japan, known for their dedication to rhythm and fighting games, were joining the fray. Counter-Strike's fast-paced, team-based gameplay offered a different kind of thrill, attracting a broad audience worldwide. Its success wasn't solely due to its engaging gameplay, but also its robust online multiplayer capabilities. Shin's Shin Play software provided smooth and reliable servers, crucial for a seamless online experience. This factor became a key differentiator, as some competitor titles, despite offering similar gameplay, struggled with inadequate server infrastructures, hindering their ability to replicate Counter-Strike's immersive multiplayer experience. The high cost of maintaining quality servers often served as a barrier for smaller studios looking to compete in the online multiplayer arena. Shin, with its vast resources and commitment to online gaming, could invest heavily in its server infrastructure, giving Counter-Strike a significant advantage over other PC FPS video games trying to copy its success by copying the gameplay mechanics. Chapter 408, Auto Subsidiary Progress. April 8, 2001. Anticipation crackled through the Starcraft community in South Korea. Tonight wasn't just another match, it was a clash of titans. SK Telecom T1 vs SamStarCon. The names alone sent shivers down spines. Wang Ji, the strategic mastermind of SK Telecom T1, and Sol Ryung, the charismatic star player of SamStarCon. More than just a Starcraft match, it was a esports phenomenon, with esports competition ratings rivaling even major TV channels. The stage was set, bathed in the blue glow of computer monitors. Wang Ji, calm and calculating, meticulously planned his build order, his fingers poised over the keyboard like a seasoned commander. Across the stage, Sol Ryung, his signature bandana tied tight, exuded quiet confidence, his eyes reflecting the intensity of a warrior ready for battle. The game began, a dance of probes and pylons, a flurry of strategic decisions unfolding with every click. Wang Ji, the Terran Emperor of SK Telecom T1, and Sol Ryung, the Zerg King of Samstar Khan. Each had their own unique style, Wang known for his aggressive, micro-intensive play, while Sol Ryung favored strategic macro-management and cunning unit compositions. As the match began, the crowd erupted in cheers, the energy electrifying. The players on each team battled fiercely, each match contributing to the overall score. But all eyes were on Wang Ji and Sol Ryung, their individual clashes promising a spectacle. Wang Ji, true to his nickname, unleashed a relentless Terran assault. His marines surged forward, supported by siege tanks and vultures, pushing Sol Ryung's Zerg defenses to their limits. But Sol Ryung, ever the strategist, countered with cunning tactics. His Zerglings swarmed around Wang's forces, his Hydralisks rained down acidic attacks, and his lurkers emerged from the shadows, striking critical blows. The crowd roared with each kill, each tactical maneuver. The tension mounted as the match reached its climax. Wang Ji, sensing an opportunity, launched a daring frontal assault. Sol Ryung, anticipating the move, had prepared a deadly trap. Yet, in a display of lightning-fast reflexes and tactical brilliance, Wang Ji managed to break free, his remaining forces delivering a final, decisive blow. The crowd erupted in thunderous applause as Wang Ji emerged victorious, securing the first round for SK Telecom T1. But amidst the cheers, one thing was clear, this was no one-man show. The victory belonged to the entire team, each player contributing their skills and strategies to the triumph. Shin's gaze was glued to the screen, his eyes following the intense battle between SK Telecom T1 and Samstar Khan. Wang Ji, the Terran Emperor, captivated him with his masterful micromanagement and relentless aggression. As a sponsor of SK Telecom T1, Shin's name basked in the reflected glory of the team's performance. While Shin itself established and hosted these events globally, sponsoring teams like SK Telecom T1 brought in additional, albeit smaller, revenue streams. The most visible example was the merchandise. The t-shirts worn by the players, emblazoned with the Shin logo and other sponsors, were selling like hotcakes in South Korea through Shin merchandise. It was a subtle yet powerful way for Shin to further establish its brand and prestige on a global stage. While Shin's name was lighting up esports arenas globally, behind the scenes, their automotive subsidiary, Shin Automobile and Motor, was making strategic moves in the auto industry. Shin didn't shy away from seizing opportunities. As Japanese automakers like Isuzu faced challenges, Shin saw a chance to expand its own production capabilities. They swiftly acquired struggling factories, bringing valuable infrastructure and experienced workforces under their umbrella. This move not only expanded production capacity but also provided access to established know-how and skilled personnel. But Shin wasn't just acquiring bricks and mortar. They were also investing in research and development, with new car designs and motor technologies brewing in their labs. Partnering with established players like South Korea's Hyundai Motors further fueled their innovation engine. The aim was to develop a diverse range of cars, catering to both the budget-conscious and luxury segments. Recognizing the importance of individual brilliance, Shin didn't limit his vision to large-scale acquisitions. He fostered connections with talented individuals, seeking out those pushing the boundaries of car design and modification. His encounter with Akira Nakai, a renowned Japanese car customizer in Shin's previous life, during the time where Shin was watching personally in 2000 F1 Japan Grand Prix, exemplifies this approach. Shin were building an ecosystem, strategically acquiring resources, fostering partnerships, and nurturing individual talent. This multi-pronged approach aimed to establish Shin as a major player in the global auto industry in the future, not just replicating existing models, but bringing innovation and a distinct character to the world of automobiles. Chapter 409, Shin Formative Plan in Auto and Motor Industry. While many in the 2001 auto industry viewed the future through a blurry windshield, Shin possessed a distinct advantage, a glimpse into the road ahead. Armed with knowledge of future trends and technologies, he steered his Shin subsidiary and research company towards groundbreaking innovations. Unlike many in the industry still clinging to traditional combustion engines, Shin pivoted his subsidiary and research company towards the burgeoning field of hybrid and electric vehicles. Shin Labs hummed with research on battery technology, motor efficiency, and sustainable charging solutions. This foresight placed them ahead of the curve, poised to capitalize on the coming shift in consumer preferences. Beyond the powertrain, Shin understood the importance of design. His vision wasn't for flashy, ostentatious cars, but for sleek, aerodynamic forms that married aesthetics with functionality. These weren't mere curves and sculpted silhouettes, they were meticulously engineered and designed to optimize fuel efficiency and performance, a stark contrast to the boxy behemoths dominating the roads of 2001. Besides that, Shin wouldn't compromise on safety. Shin's labs hummed with activity, rigorously testing and refining safety features in their prototype cars. He knew that cutting-edge technology wasn't just about bells and whistles, it was about protecting lives. This commitment translated into significant investments in features like adaptive cruise control, lane departure warnings, and blind spot monitoring, concepts that were futuristic in 2001 but would become commonplace in years to come. Shin also recognized the potential of advanced materials like carbon fiber and aluminum to reduce weight and improve performance. While these materials were expensive in 2001, his foresight allowed him to source them strategically, giving Shin an edge in lightweighting technology. While hybrid and electric technologies were Shin's primary focus, they didn't shy away from exploring other promising alternatives. Hydrogen fuel cells and biofuels held immense potential, offering cleaner and more sustainable solutions. Despite the nascent stage of these technologies and the numerous challenges they posed, Shin occasionally shared snippets using his future knowledge disguised as suggestions with researchers. While the information wasn't instantly completed the research, it acted as a catalyst, sparking new ideas and accelerating progress. This future nudge, as Shin called it, proved invaluable to the scientists, even if it wasn't a complete roadmap. Beside that, Shin and the key executives of Shin Automobile and Motor subsidiary, recognized the increasing emphasis on connectivity. Shin researched on cutting-edge features like in-car navigation, and vehicle-to-vehicle communication. These features, maybe groundbreaking in 2001, laid the foundation for the connected cars of the future. Shin's market segmentation strategy was as innovative as its technology. Recognizing that the future automotive landscape wouldn't be a one-size-fits-all affair, they diversified their offerings. From budget-conscious commuters seeking affordable mobility to luxury car enthusiasts desiring cutting-edge features, Shin had something for everyone. Even environmentally conscious consumers and tech-savvy early adopters may later possibly see options tailor-made for their needs and preferences. By diversifying Shin's approach, especially with Shin strategically utilizing future knowledge, and prioritizing innovation, Shin was poised not just to adapt to the changing automotive landscape, but to shape it. While Shin Automobile and Motor subsidiary was still in its formative stages, Shin wasn't simply waiting for the paint to dry. He was meticulously laying the groundwork for a grand entrance into the automotive world. The moment their first models hit the market wouldn't just be a product launch, it would be a declaration of ambition. The early car designs planned for Shin's vehicles weren't just sketches on paper, they were already turning heads in the video game world. Even before the first car hit the road, Shin had begun subtly planting the seeds of Shin's automotive ambitions. The latest installment of Shin's popular racing video game Need for Speed, also known for featuring real-world car brands, became a strategic platform. Nestled amongst iconic names like Ferrari, Ford, and BMW, gamers would find a new addition, Shin. These weren't just placeholder designs, they were glimpses into the future, showcasing Shin's cutting-edge concepts and futuristic aesthetics. It was a clever and subtle way to pique the interest of potential customers and establish Shin as a brand to watch. The year 2001 saw South Korea's Starcraft scene erupt in excitement as teams battled for supremacy in the hit esports competition. Among them, SK Telecom T1 emerged as the undisputed first champion. The path to victory wasn't easy. SK Telecom T1 faced a formidable opponent in Samstar Khan, led by the renowned Zerg player Sol Ryung. The final match was a nail-biting affair, pushing both teams to their limits. Ultimately, SK Telecom T1 prevailed with a narrow 3-2 score, showcasing their strategic prowess and individual brilliance. Their triumph wasn't just about bragging rights. SK Telecom T1 walked away with the prestigious first esports trophy awarded in South Korea, along with a substantial prize pool of $500,000. Wang Ji, the team's star player and tournament MVP, received further recognition and accolades for his exceptional performance. While SK Telecom T1 basked in the glory of victory, it's important to acknowledge the achievements of the other finalists. Samstar Khan, despite their narrow loss, demonstrated exceptional skill and resilience throughout the competition. Similarly, the teams that secured the second and third positions, although their prize money was considerably less, deserved recognition for their dedication and talent. Their tears mixed of joy and sadness at the awards ceremony weren't just about the monetary rewards or their unfortunate loss against SK Telecom T1, but a testament to the passion and hard work they poured into the competition. Chapter 410, Shin Global Esports. The global esports scene recently witnessed exciting climaxes as regional competitions crowned their champions. In Japan, Tora Esports emerged victorious in the Starcraft tournament, showcasing their strategic prowess. Meanwhile, Suzuki Clan dominated the Counter-Strike battlefield, claiming the top spot in Japan. Racing games and other titles saw similar triumphs, with various countries asserting their dominance in specific genres, much like South Korea's dominance in Starcraft. Behind the scenes, Shin's significant investment in these global esports tournaments deserves attention. Dozens of millions of dollars poured into competitions across various regions reflect their commitment to fostering the growth and development of the esports scene. This financial backing not only provides a platform for competitive players but also attracts wider audiences and drives increased interest in the world of esports. However, Shin's impact extends beyond financial support. By establishing such a wide-ranging esports presence, they have further solidified their prestige within the gaming community. Their involvement in various regions demonstrates a commitment to inclusivity and global reach, fostering a sense of community and shared passion for competitive gaming. As anticipation builds for the upcoming global esports competition, where regional champions from various Shin video game tournaments converge on Japan's main stage, the Shin film has obviously emerged in its rising popularity. The fantasy film Harry Potter has cast its spell on audiences worldwide, starting from the US and Japan. The film's captivating narrative, immersive story, and the allure of magic with its signature wands have enthralled viewers. This newfound popularity, particularly in Japan and the US, has sparked a remarkable phenomenon. Shin merchandise has begun offering Harry Potter magic wands and Hogwarts robes, experiencing phenomenal sales. Perhaps the most telling indicator is the surge in book sales, with the Harry Potter series selling like hotcakes, generating substantial profits for both Shin's subsidiary and J.K. Rowling. In 2001, Shin's foray into the PC gaming market took a step once more with the release of Elder Scrolls II: Daggerfall. This sequel to the critically acclaimed Arena wasn't just another RPG, it was a sprawling open-world experience that captivated players with its immersive world-building and intricate KST lines. While initially developed for the KSP platform, Daggerfall successfully transitioned to PC, attracting a dedicated fanbase and solidifying Shin's presence in the growing PC video game market. But that wasn't finished yet. Shin held the video game industry in its grasp for a short moment once more, with the studios holding their breath as Shin followed up with another title, Hitman, codename 47. This stealth action game dropped players into the shoes of Agent 47, a genetically engineered assassin tasked with eliminating high-profile targets across the globe. What followed was a unique blend of strategy, puzzle-solving, and action, with players devising elaborate plans to take down their targets unseen. The release of Hitman was met with a wave of anticipation from gamers. The premise, a cold, calculated assassin navigating intricate assassinations, was unlike anything they'd seen before. Reviews were generally positive, praising the game's innovative mechanics, atmospheric world, and challenging gameplay. The disguise system, allowing Agent 47 to blend in with crowds and deceive unsuspecting enemies, was praised for its depth and immersion. The AI, while not perfect, offered enough challenge to keep players on their toes, creating tense moments of risk and reward. On May 11, 2001, the Tokyo Big Sight in Japan transformed into a global stage for the highly anticipated Shin Global Esports competition. With a staggering prize pool of $2 million for Starcraft and Counter-Strike, and $500,000 for other participating games like racing titles and other genres besides Shin's video games, the event drew not only top-tier competitors but also a passionate audience. The venue buzzed with excitement, hosting both local fans and international spectators eager to witness the best esports players battle it out. The electrifying atmosphere spilled beyond the physical space, with the competition broadcasted live across participating countries, further amplifying the global reach of the event. The impact of Shin's grand vision extended beyond the thrill of competition. Tourism rates in Japan surged significantly, showcasing the event's potential to attract international visitors and inject revenue into the local economy. Recognizing this positive impact, the government readily offered its support, acknowledging the esports tournament's contribution to promoting tourism and innovation. Beyond that, the Shin Global Esports competition served as a catalyst for uniting players and fans from diverse backgrounds through a shared passion for gaming. It surpassed physical borders, fostering a sense of community and cultural exchange. This unifying aspect further solidified the government's support, recognizing the event's potential to promote international understanding and collaboration. Because of the esports Shin have established, it also marked a shift in the public perception of video games. Even those with a lukewarm attitude towards gaming couldn't deny the captivating energy emanating from the Tokyo big site. Even older generations, previously harboring skepticism, witnessed firsthand that people were taking video games more seriously because of the esports. The Shin Global Esports event sparked conversations and discussions across generations. Parents started engaging with their children's gaming interests, grandparents inquired about the intricacies of certain games, and even casual observers found themselves drawn into the online communities surrounding the tournament. Chapter 411, Shin Global Esports 2. The Shin Global Esports tournament promises an electrifying clash of skills and strategies, featuring games not just from Shin's own studios, but also established names like Tora, Suzuki, Shin Rhodes, Namco, and Kuma Games. This diverse selection adds another layer of excitement as each studio brings its own unique flavor to the competition. Previously, regional esports events saw studios like Tora and Suzuki rewarding champions with $200,000 each. While a significant investment, it proved its worth, as their games soared in popularity alongside the esports wave in their respective regions. Now, the stakes are even higher. For the Shin Global Esports, studios like Tora and Suzuki raise the bar to $500,000 for the champions in their video games. This represents a substantial increase, yet pales in comparison to the two flagship Shin games, Starcraft and Counter-Strike, which boast a staggering $2 million prize pool each. This disparity in prize money highlights the different strategies at play. The studios like Tora and Suzuki leverage esports to boost their titles' fame, while Shin, with its established franchises, utilizes the tournament to solidify its dominance in the industry. Even individuals who haven't touched a controller before find themselves drawn to the spectacle. The thought of competing for such a significant prize, even as a playful notion, speaks to the captivating power of esports. The Tokyo big site buzzed with anticipation as the Shin Global Esports competition kicked off. Cheers and boos resonated through the venue as teams battled it out in various titles from established video game studios. The excitement only intensified as the lower bracket matches concluded, paving the way for the highly anticipated Counter-Strike. This main event pitted the formidable UK squad against the seasoned South Korean team. The tension was palpable as both teams displayed exceptional skill and strategic prowess. Each round was a nail-biting affair, pushing the players to their limits. In a heart-stopping finish, the UK team narrowly secured victory with a score of 3-2, eliciting a roar of delight from their supporters. Bets placed by gamers worldwide added another layer of excitement to the Counter-Strike tournament. In Japan, where Suzuki clans held home turf advantage, many naturally backed the Japan team. Even international gamers joined the fray on Shin's betting website platform, fueled by the brand's reputation and the Japan team's home field advantage. However, a significant portion of bets, particularly from Europe and the USA, leaned towards other strong contenders like the UK, Germany, France, and USA teams, highlighting the fierce global competition. In Japan, Europe, and the USA, Counter-Strike finds fertile ground. Already familiar with PC gaming and first-person shooters, these regions embrace the game's strategic depth and competitive spirit. LAN parties or online multiplayer with KP software buzz with the chatter of coordinated attacks, while online communities pulsate with the thrill of virtual battlefields. This early adoption fosters a generation of skilled players, their reflexes honed on countless hours of gaming. South Korea and China, on the other hand, experienced a different trajectory. Starcraft, released shortly before Counter-Strike, captured the hearts and minds of gamers in these regions. Its real-time strategy gameplay resonated with their strategic mindset and competitive spirit, solidifying its dominance. However, Counter-Strike wasn't entirely absent. As internet cafes became ubiquitous and accessibility increased, the game slowly found its footing. Initial interest translated into passionate communities, and the inherent skill ceiling of Counter-Strike attracted talented players. Predicting the future is always fraught with uncertainty, but the potential for South Korea and China to become Counter-Strike powerhouses shouldn't be underestimated. Team Suzuki Clan, representing Japan, faced off against allies, a formidable squad from the USA. Many eyes were on Combo-chan, the Suzuki clan's star player, known for his lightning-fast reflexes and strategic mind. As the battle unfolded, the arena pulsed with nervous energy. Each round was a nail-biting affair, with skilled plays and heart-stopping moments on both sides. Combo-chan lived up to his reputation, executing clutch moves and leading his team with precision. The crowd roared with every successful headshot, the cheers exceeds national boundaries. When the final dust settled, Team Suzuki clan emerged victorious, the cheers erupting into a deafening celebration. While some American fans undoubtedly felt the sting of defeat, a significant portion of the audience, including many from the USA, erupted in applause. The respect for Combo-chan's skill and the team's impressive performance was undeniable. This diverse spread of support reflected the expanding reach of esports and the increasing level of international gaming talent. While regional pride held strong, skilled teams from various parts of the world garnered admiration and respect from the global audience. As the Counter-Strike dust settled, anticipation soared for the final act of the Shin Global Esports, the Starcraft competition. This battle of real-time strategy titans promised an electrifying climax, and the excitement wasn't limited to Japan. Many in the audience, particularly international visitors from across Asia, buzzed with anticipation. For these foreigners, Starcraft held a special significance. In regions like South Korea and China, the game had exceeded mere entertainment, becoming a cultural phenomenon. Pro players were celebrated like heroes, and competitive Starcraft matches drew millions of viewers. Chapter 412, Sazuma's Hope. The roar of the crowd resonated throughout Tokyo as esports took center stage. The global esports competition had drawn in a wave of international visitors, filling nearby hotels with eager fans. This influx of tourism translated to booming business for hospitality providers, and many hotel owners couldn't help but acknowledge the role Shin had played in this success. Recognizing the growing interest, several luxury hotels took the initiative to equip their high-end rooms with the latest Shin technology. PS2 consoles and Shin video games became available, offering guests a chance to immerse themselves in the world of video games. Additionally, hotel staff and management enjoyed access to channels broadcasting the competition, fostering a sense of community and excitement around the event. Beyond the hospitality industry, food vendors also saw a substantial increase in business. With foreign spectators venturing out to explore the city, local cuisines enjoyed a surge in popularity. This further demonstrated the multifaceted impact of Shin's contribution to the Japanese economy. The electrifying energy of the global esports competition crackled through the Japan Big Sight. Seated in the VIP section, Shin glanced at his wife, Myra, then turned to his grandfather, Sazuma. At 97, Sazuma, accompanied by his wife Kumiko in the age of 89 and their attentive caretakers, radiated a quiet dignity that contrasted the youthful fervor of the crowd. Shin couldn't help but marvel at his grandfather's sharp mind. Despite his age, Sazuma followed the competition with keen interest, occasionally asking insightful questions about the strategies and innovations showcased. Shin noticed the pride radiating from his grandfather's eyes, and a warm smile touched his lips. As the crowd erupted in cheers for a particularly impressive play, Sazuma turned to Shin, his voice raspy but firm. "Shinro," he began, using Shin's childhood nickname, "you have created a spectacle, a vision I never thought I would witness. You have truly built something remarkable." Shin just smiled. "Thank you, grandfather," he replied, his voice tinged with emotion. Then, in a surprising turn, Sazuma leaned closer, his gaze fixed on the throng of young players and spectators. "Sometimes," he mused, his voice barely a whisper, "I wonder if Shin alone could bring back the golden age of Japan's economy." Shin raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "The one before the bubble burst?" Sazuma nodded, his eyes crinkling at the corners. "I still remember those times, Shinro. We had prosperity, innovation, and even leisure. People worked hard, yes, but with flexibility and a sense of pride. But the Plaza Accord changed everything. Our economy went into free fall, and now..." He sighed, a hint of sadness creeping into his voice. "Now, many young people work themselves to the bone, struggling to keep Japan at the forefront. It's not the same, Shinro." Shin pondered his grandfather's words. He knew the complexities of Japan's economic history, the boom and bust cycles, the pressures of global competition. While Shin was undoubtedly successful, could it single-handedly usher in a new era of prosperity? The answer, he knew, wasn't simple. Sazama paused, the weight of his years resting on him as he gazed at the vibrant spectacle of the esports competition. Shinro, he began, his voice raspy but resolute, I'm making a bold promise. I'm willing to leave you a significant portion of my Suzuki shares, no strings attached. Sell them, invest them, do whatever you deem necessary. But before you make any decisions, consider this one request. Shin felt a pang of complexity wash over him. His grandfather's age demanded respect, and refusing such a large gift would undoubtedly cause hurt. He chose his words carefully. A request, grandfather. Sazama's eyes, though aged, shone with a spark of determination. I want you to use the proceeds from those shares, every yen of it, to propel your company's technology even further. You see it, don't you, Shinro? He paused, leaning in conspiratorially. In this world, the only way your company, any company, can stay ahead is through relentless innovation, through technological brilliance. Shin remained silent, absorbing his grandfather's words. Sazama continued, his voice gaining strength. Remember when our nation led the world in technological advancements? It was a driving force behind our economic miracle. But complacency sets in, Shinro. Other countries, particularly in Asia, South Korea, Singapore, China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, they're hungry, ambitious, and rapidly closing the gap. He raised a frail hand, enumerating on his fingers. Think of the inventions born from Japanese minds in recent decades, the Walkman, the blue LED, countless innovations that shaped the modern world. But complacency breeds stagnation. We can't afford to rest on our laurels. Sazama's gaze returned to Shin, his eyes filled with a deep-seated hope. Kishin has the potential to be a beacon of progress, Shinro. Use my shares, use your talent, and push the boundaries of what's possible. Let Kishin lead the next wave of technological revolution, not just for Japan, but for the world. Chapter 413, Kishin Pictures Expansion. The roar of the crowd in the stadium echoed through the VIP section, a stark contrast to the hushed conversation between Shin and his grandfather, Sazama. Shin, his expression edged with a seriousness that mirrored the weight of the conversation, couldn't help but feel surprised. He hadn't anticipated his grandfather, a man usually reserved, to express such ambitious hopes for him, especially concerning the future of Kishin, his company. Sazama, burdened by the knowledge that his time was nearing its end at the age of 97, felt an urgency to solidify his legacy. He envisioned Shin, his grandson, leading Kishin and propelling it to even greater heights. To achieve this, he planned to bequeath a substantial portion of his Suzuki shares to Shin. The intention was clear: sell the shares and inject the capital into Kishin, fueling its growth and advancement. As the final whistle blew, signaling the end of the day's Kishin Global Esports competition, the stadium erupted in cheers. Shin, his wife Myra by his side, escorted Sazama and his wife Kumiko to their waiting limousine. The excitement of the Kishin Global Esports tournament broadcasted in some parts of the world, gamers around the world, glued to their screens as the competitions unfolded. Meanwhile, Kishin merchandise enjoyed a surge in popularity, fueled by the recent release of a Lego animation film Ctto produced with Pixar. This innovative collaboration brought Marvel superheroes to life in a world of colorful bricks, captivating audiences of all ages. The Lego craze extended even further with a highly anticipated Harry Potter Lego version. Across the country in Los Angeles, Kishin Pictures, recently relocated from New York, buzzed with activity. 2 major film projects were in production, one of which had the industry insiders abuzz, the highly anticipated Spider-Man 2. The first Spider-Man film, released a few years earlier, had taken the superhero genre by storm, surpassing even the box office records of Warner Bros. DC films. This sequel promised to be even bigger and better, leaving fans eagerly anticipating its release. And besides that, had leaked about another project, a book adaptation, shrouded in secrecy. Unlike the highly anticipated Harry Potter sequel, details remained elusive, piquing the curiosity of everyone from insiders. Some insiders speculated it was a classic novel, a literary gem finally getting its cinematic due. Others suspected a hidden gem, a lesser-known work with untapped potential. Beneath the surface of the bustling Spider-Man 2 production, a hidden hive of activity buzzed within Kishin Pictures. Unbeknownst to most, Kishin was orchestrating a strategic expansion, quietly filming several projects simultaneously, many veiled behind the green screens of their studios. While some were superhero Marvel adaptation like Spider-Man 2, others ventured into entirely different territories. A gritty, realistic drama simmered in development. It was a deliberate shift, a calculated move by Shin to diversify its portfolio and challenge the established Big Six studios. The success of Titanic, a film that seamlessly blended romance with historical elements, had been a turning point. This fueled Shin and the company's key executives, igniting a vision to expand their studios beyond their current capacity. Their newly expanded studios promised not only increased film quantity but also genre variety. Even independent directors could be given a chance, their projects nurtured by Shin's funding. The lights dimmed, the roar of the crowd intensified, and all eyes fixated on the stage of the Shin Global Esports Arena. On May 18, 2001, weeks of intense competition across Starcraft and Counter-Strike culminated in a grand finale, crowning the champions of the world. In the Starcraft tournament, the air crackled with anticipation as SK Telecom T1, led by the phenomenal Wang Ji, emerged victorious. Their flawless execution and strategic brilliance had decimated opponents throughout the competition, earning them a well-deserved place on the podium. As Wang Ji lifted the Shin Global Esports Starcraft trophy amidst thunderous applause, his teammates beamed with pride, reveling in the shared victory. The roar of the crowd had barely subsided after SK Telecom T1 secured their Starcraft victory when an unexpected figure took the stage. Shinro Suzuki, a living legend in the gaming community, emerged amidst stunned gasps and excited shouts. Even the newly crowned champions, including Wang Ji himself, looked on in shock and awe. "Please welcome, Mr. Shinro Suzuki." The host boomed, the announcement igniting a frenzy. Shinro, with his signature wave, acknowledged the cheering crowd before turning his gaze towards the Korean champions. "He's looking at you, Ji-sunbi," exclaimed Wang Ji's teammate in Korean, barely containing his excitement. "We're actually standing next to the legendary Shinro." Wang Ji, usually known for his composure, remained speechless, the gravity of the moment sinking in. The next announcement added another layer of surprise: Mr. Suzuki himself will present the prize money. The colossal $2 million check brought on stage, carefully carried by staff. Shinro received it with a smile, then handed it over to the beaming SK Telecom T1 team. As they held the giant check aloft, cameras flashed, capturing the sheer disbelief etched on their faces. This wasn't just a victory, it was a moment shared with a gaming icon. Shin then approached the team, the language barrier bridged by a translator. Words of encouragement and congratulations flowed, filling the Koreans with awe and gratitude. But the surprises didn't end there. Shinro announced an additional award, specifically for Wang Ji, recognizing him as the Starcraft MVP. The champion received a separate prize, further solidifying his individual brilliance. The team erupted in cheers, celebrating not just their own win, but also the recognition bestowed upon their leader by a true legend in the gaming community. Chapter 414, Shin Global Esports Conclusion. Meanwhile, the Counter-Strike competition had painted a different story. Here, teamwork and coordinated aggression reigned supreme. The Japanese squad, Suzuki Clan, displayed exceptional coordination and tactical prowess, outmaneuvering their opponents with stunning precision. Their victory erupted in cheers from the home crowd, a wave of national pride washing over the arena. The US and South Korean teams being top 2 and top 3. The roar of the crowd reached a fever pitch as the Suzuki Clan, champions of the Counter-Strike tournament, took the stage. Holding the coveted trophy high, team captain and MVP, Combo-chan, beamed with pride. The familiar figure of Shin awaited them, a smile playing on his lips. Just as he had for the Starcraft champions, Shin presented the prize money, recognizing not only the team's victory but also Combo-chan's individual talent. The Suzuki Clan members, overcome with joy and gratitude, accepted the award with reverence. With the official ceremonies concluded, the media descended. Video game journalists, armed with recorders and notebooks, scurried to grab interviews with the champions, runners-up, and top performers from both games. Each player recounted their experiences, analyzed strategies, and shared their hopes for the future. The air buzzed with the excitement of competition and the camaraderie of a shared passion. As the hours passed and the final interview wrapped up, the crowd began to thin. One by one, fans streamed out of the Japan Big Sight, their energy and enthusiasm echoing in the vast hallways. Finally, with the arena emptied and the stage cleared, Shin Global Esports officially drew to a close. The resounding success of the Shin Global Esports tournament sent shockwaves through the gaming industry. Its groundbreaking format, intense competition, and impressive viewership figures had captured the attention of players and spectators alike. Naturally, this success didn't go unnoticed by other major players in the industry. With an estimated 58 million live viewers worldwide, the Shin Global Esports event rivaled the viewership of major sporting events like the Super Bowl, 84.4 million viewers according to Nielsen. While not quite reaching the Super Bowl's staggering figures, this achievement was nothing short of phenomenal for a first-time esports event. Recognizing the potential of esports and the impact of Shin's pioneering efforts, several major players started formulating plans to host their own competitive gaming events. However, the legal landscape presented a hurdle. Shin held the trademark on the term esports, preventing others from directly using it. This meant that potential competitors would need to either negotiate a licensing agreement with Shin or choose a different name for their events. The driving force behind this flurry of activity was the immense viewership garnered by Shin Global Esports. Experts projected that the next iteration of the event could attract even more viewers, solidifying the growing popularity of esports as a global phenomenon. With the industry poised for exponential growth, it was no surprise that other major players wanted to capitalize on this exciting new market. However, simply copying Shin's format wasn't enough. Competitors would need to develop unique offerings, attract top players, and foster a passionate community to compete effectively. While the dotcom bubble burst wreaked havoc on many tech companies, Shin's shrewd investments during this period proved highly profitable. Notably, Shin's bold decision to acquire hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Qualcomm stock amidst the turmoil stands out. While the dotcom burst undoubtedly impacted Qualcomm, leading to a drop in its stock price, the company also faced internal challenges and legal issues that contributed to the decline. Despite these factors, Shin saw an opportunity and managed to secure a significant 7% ownership stake in the company. This foresight proved to be wise. By 2001, Qualcomm began a gradual recovery, with its stock price climbing significantly from its $12 lows. Shin's investment, therefore, yielded substantial returns. This wasn't an isolated incident. Shin demonstrated similar prescience with other chipset companies like Broadcom and Texas Instruments, investing in their stocks when their prices were depressed. These bold moves also proved lucrative, further bolstering Shin's financial standing. Shin's subsidiary, Shin Financial, played a crucial role in these transactions. Its astute investments in various companies led to a substantial surge in its estimated net worth, attracting the attention of competitors like BlackRock and Vanguard. These established players recognized Shin's savvy investment strategies and has long took notice of their success. Chapter 415, Microsoft's experiment in the gaming competition. Initially, Shin Global Esports represented a financial challenge for Shin. However, following the conclusion of the inaugural Shin Global Esports event in 2001, the situation began to shift favorably. The rise in popularity of video games like Counter-Strike and Starcraft played a pivotal role in this transformation. These titles, among others, captivated a global audience, leading to a significant increase in revenue for Shin. Financial analysis reveals that Shin's venture into esports generated an impressive revenue stream. It is estimated that the company earned at least $250 million from its esports activities. When considering the expenses associated with hosting the esports event, Shin still managed to secure a substantial profit, with net earnings amounting to at least $180 million. This financial turnaround underscores the potential of esports as a lucrative sector and highlights Shin's successful strategy in capitalizing on the burgeoning popularity of competitive gaming. In the weeks following the conclusion of the Shin Global Esports event, Microsoft embarked on its own venture into the competitive gaming arena. This new initiative saw the company hosting its gaming competition, showcasing a variety of video games from both external studios and those under Microsoft's own banner. Given that the term esports was trademarked by Shin, Microsoft opted for a different nomenclature for their event, dubbing it the Microsoft G Sports Competition. This marked a foray into a similar domain, albeit with a distinct branding strategy to navigate the trademark landscape. A notable distinction between the two events lay in their scope and scale. Shin's esports event was a global phenomenon, attracting participants and viewers from around the world. In contrast, Microsoft's G Sports Competition was a more localized affair, confined to the United States. This difference in scale can be attributed to the company's respective positions and strategies within the gaming industry. Shin, with its strong and widespread presence in the video game sector, has established itself as a dominant player on the global stage. Microsoft, despite being a software giant, has a more concentrated focus within the gaming industry, particularly in the United States. This strategic decision by Microsoft reflects a cautious approach to entering the competitive gaming market. Rather than attempting to replicate Shin's high-profile, worldwide esports events, Microsoft chose to capitalize on its strengths within the US market. This move suggests an acknowledgement of Shin's formidable image and established success in the global esports arena, against which Microsoft was not ready to compete directly. Instead, Microsoft's G-Sports competition aimed to carve out its niche, leveraging the company's significant resources and gaming portfolio to make its mark within the confines of a national framework. While it may not have achieved the same global prominence as Shin's esports events, Microsoft's G-Sports competition nevertheless succeeded in capturing the attention of a significant number of gamers within the United States. This interest was, in part, a spillover from the well-established presence of Shin in the competitive gaming scene. Shin, being a titan in the video game industry, had already familiarized a vast audience with the concept of video game competitions. As such, many gamers were quick to grasp the nature of Microsoft's G-Sports, thanks to their prior exposure to Shin's global esports initiatives. Moreover, Microsoft's foray into competitive gaming was not without its unique draws. Notably, one of the featured games in the G-Sports competition, a first-person shooter that bore resemblances to Shin's iconic Counter-Strike, managed to carve out its niche among FPS enthusiasts. Despite criticisms that it seemed like a less polished iteration of Counter-Strike, this game, alongside others featured in the competition, began to gain a foothold among the gaming community. Microsoft's strategic move to host the G-Sports competition and feature both its own titles and those from collaborating studios started to pay dividends. The visibility and recognition gained through the competition helped enhance the profile of Microsoft's gaming portfolio. This increased visibility, in turn, contributed to a rise in Xbox sales. Although these sales did not reach the heights achieved by Shin's PS2 console, the uptick was a clear indicator of Microsoft's growing influence in the gaming market. In 2001, Tokyo set the stage for an intriguing development in the automotive world with the announcement of that year's Tokyo Motor Show. This event, renowned for showcasing the latest advancements and models from Japanese car manufacturers, was poised to offer something entirely unexpected. Among the traditional automotive giants preparing to unveil their newest creations, a new and unconventional participant was announced. Shin, a company hitherto celebrated for its dominance in the video game industry, was about to venture into uncharted territory. Shin's announcement of its intention to reveal its first-ever car model at the Tokyo Motor Show stirred a mix of anticipation and skepticism among car enthusiasts and industry experts. The company's unparalleled success in video gaming was well acknowledged, but the automotive industry, with its intricate demands of engineering, design, and consumer expectations, represented a fundamentally different challenge. The leap from digital entertainment to the tangible, highly competitive world of car manufacturing prompted questions about Shin's capabilities in such a divergent field. Despite the event not having started yet, the buzz surrounding Shin's foray into the motor industry was palpable. Speculation was rife, with many wondering how a brand synonymous with video gaming could translate its innovative spirit into the automotive space. Skepticism abounded as well. The prevailing wisdom suggested that Shin's expertise in software and gaming might not seamlessly transfer to the complexities of automotive design and production. The automotive community awaited with bated breath, curious to see what Shin would bring to the table. While some were hopeful, eager to witness innovation and fresh ideas in vehicle design and technology, others were prepared for the possibility that Shin's venture might not live up to the high standards set by established car manufacturers. This mix of excitement, doubt, and curiosity set the tone for what was to become a highly anticipated reveal at the Tokyo Motor Show, marking a potential milestone in the blending of technology sectors. Chapter 416, Shin's Car. On June 27, 2001, the eagerly anticipated Tokyo Motor Show opened its doors, transforming the Tokyo Big Sight Convention Center into a bustling hub of automotive innovation and excitement. This prestigious event drew enthusiasts, experts, and industry leaders from across the globe, all eager to witness the latest developments in automotive technology and design. Japanese automotive manufacturers, renowned for their commitment to innovation and quality, were at the forefront, unveiling their newest car models. These presentations were not merely about showcasing new vehicles, they were a testament to the company's visions for the future of transportation. Leading the charge were esteemed CEOs such as Bunko Toyota, alongside other executives or their trusted representatives. These industry leaders stood proudly beside their latest creations, embodying the spirit of progress and the relentless pursuit of excellence that has long characterized the Japanese automotive industry. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation as attendees navigated through the exhibition, marveling at the sleek designs, cutting-edge technology, and visionary concepts being unveiled. Each new model was a statement, reflecting years of research, innovation, and meticulous design. From eco-friendly electric vehicles to high-performance sports cars, the range of advancements on display highlighted the industry's diverse approaches to addressing the evolving needs and aspirations of drivers worldwide. Amidst this showcase of automotive achievement, there was an undercurrent of curiosity for what was considered by many as the event's wildcard entry, Kishin's debut in the car manufacturing sector. The gaming giant's announcement of its first car model had been met with a mix of skepticism and intrigue. Industry veterans and newcomers alike waited with a blend of amusement and genuine interest for Kishin's unveiling. The notion of a company, celebrated for its contributions to the digital entertainment realm, stepping into the highly specialized field of automotive engineering was viewed by some as a bold experiment, and by others as an ambitious leap. As the event progressed, the anticipation for Kishin's presentation grew. Attendees speculated on whether Kishin's vehicle would embody the innovation and creativity that had made their video games a global phenomenon or if it would fall short of the high standards set by the stalwarts of the automotive industry. As the Tokyo Motor Show progressed, the unveiling of Kishin's vehicle was approached with anticipation, but without the dramatic suspense often associated with such reveals. The Kishin Alpha 2001 emerged onto the stage, its presence a bold declaration of innovative design and forward-thinking engineering. This car distinguished itself immediately from the prevalent automotive designs of 2001, featuring a sleek, aerodynamic silhouette that broke away from the boxy and conventional forms of the time. Shin himself appeared on stage to introduce the vehicle, causing a stir among attendees and viewers watching the broadcast. His youthful demeanor, paired with the authority of his position, presented a striking figure that captivated the audience. The initial skepticism that perhaps the Kishin car was more a concept of design than a functional reality was palpable among those present and the wider audience tuned in from afar. However, Shin was prepared to address such doubts head-on. "Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your presence here today at the Tokyo Motor Show. We're here to introduce not just another vehicle, but a leap into the future of mobility with Kishin's first automotive venture, the Kishin Alpha 2001, Shin began, his voice brimming with pride and excitement. As you can observe, the Alpha 2001 diverges significantly from the conventional designs of today. Its sleek, aerodynamic profile isn't just a stylistic choice, it's a deliberate move towards enhancing fuel efficiency and redefining aesthetic standards in automotive design. This departure from the traditional boxy design to something far more efficient and visually striking signifies a new direction for the future of car manufacturing," Shin continued, his enthusiasm palpable as he motioned towards the innovative vehicle beside him. He paused, allowing the audience a moment to admire the vehicle's futuristic design. However, the distinctiveness of the Alpha 2001 extends beyond its exterior. This vehicle is the culmination of Kishin's relentless research and development, featuring a suite of advanced technological innovations that redefine what's possible in a car. From unprecedented energy efficiency to state-of-the-art safety mechanisms and the use of groundbreaking materials, the Alpha 2001 is setting new benchmarks for the automotive industry. Addressing potential skepticism head-on, Shin shared, "I understand there may be doubts. How could a company, renowned for video game development, venture into the automotive sector and claim innovation? The answer lies in our philosophy. At Kishin, pushing the envelope of innovation is our core. Transitioning from the virtual world to the tangible realities of automotive engineering is a challenge we've embraced wholeheartedly." Shin then clarified, "The technologies and design principles you see in the Alpha 2001 are not serendipitous. They are the result of years of dedicated research and development." It was a proof to Kishin's commitment to excellence and innovation. Concluding his speech, Shin stated, "The Kishin Alpha 2001 stands as a declaration of our ambition to not just participate in the automotive world but to redefine it. It embodies our vision for a sustainable, technologically advanced future of transportation. This is merely the beginning of Kishin's journey in the automotive sector, and we're excited about the road ahead." As Shin stepped away, the message was clear: Kishin's entry into the automotive industry was marked by an unwavering commitment to research, innovation, and a vision for the future, challenging the audience to rethink what is possible in automotive design and technology. After the audience, both on-site and watching via television, had absorbed Shinro Suzuki's presentation, the atmosphere was charged with a palpable sense of anticipation and admiration. Suzuki, a titan in the video game industry, had masterfully articulated the vision and innovation behind the Shin Alpha 2001, captivating many with the possibilities that Shin promised to bring to the automotive sector. His eloquence and passion for Shin's inaugural venture into the motor industry had effectively turned skepticism into genuine interest among a broad audience. Meanwhile, the response from the executives of established Japanese car companies was markedly different. Gathered in their reserved areas, a murmur of dismissive commentary echoed amongst them, their expressions a mix of skepticism and veiled concern. One executive, trying to mask his apprehension with scorn, leaned over to his colleague and whispered, "A video game company dabbling in cars now? What's next, flying vehicles in our living rooms?" Another, unable to hide his disdain, scoffed, "Let's see how their advanced technology holds up against real engineering. Games are one thing, but cars are a different beast altogether." A third executive, sipping his coffee, chimed in with a smirk, "Innovative design? More like a fantasy on wheels. I'll believe it when I see Shin on the roads, not just on a stage." These executives, steeped in the traditions and competitive spirit of the automotive industry, found it challenging to accept the notion that a newcomer, especially one from a completely different sector, could introduce a revolutionary product capable of competing with their established brands. Their comments reflected a blend of industry rivalry, skepticism, and a reluctance to acknowledge Shin. Chapter 417, Anticipating Alpha 01. In 2001, the Shin Auto and Motor Company made a bold leap from its well-established stronghold in the video game industry to the competitive automotive sector with the introduction of the Shin Alpha 2001, also known as the Alpha 01. This move sparked widespread discussions, marked by a blend of skepticism and curiosity, particularly among the gaming community. The foray of Shin, a titan in digital entertainment, into the realm of automotive manufacturing, was seen as both audacious and intriguing. The unveiling of the Alpha 01 at the Tokyo Motor Show was not just another product launch, it represented Shin's ambitious endeavor to blend the worlds of virtual racing and real-world automotive engineering. The design and motor technology underpinning the Alpha 01 were subjects of intense discussion within the industry. While some critiques highlighted that the vehicle's technology did not entirely surpass that of established automotive giants, industry insiders conceded that the Alpha 01 incorporated some genuinely innovative and advanced technological solutions. Despite Shin's relative inexperience in the automotive industry, the Alpha 01 quickly became a topic of fervent discussion among car enthusiasts. This was largely due to Shin's strategic integration of the vehicle into popular culture, most notably through its inclusion in Gran Turismo 2, a flagship racing game that boasted a massive following among gamers. The Alpha 01's stylish design and its legendary status in the game created a lasting impression, bridging the gap between gamers and car enthusiasts alike. Moreover, the Alpha 01's cameo in the anime series Initial D further cemented its place in popular culture, showcasing Shin's innovative approach to marketing its inaugural vehicle. This blend of traditional automotive development and cutting-edge media exploitation allowed Shin to leverage its intellectual properties effectively, generating unprecedented hype around a car that had yet to hit the market. As the Shin Alpha 2001 was poised for mass release, skepticism mingled with anticipation among car enthusiasts and industry experts alike. Many questioned whether the production version of Shin's inaugural vehicle would maintain the high standards of quality and technological innovation showcased during its grand unveiling at the Tokyo Motor Show. Despite these uncertainties, the excitement within the automotive community was palpable. There was a keen interest in witnessing firsthand how Shin would transition its concept car into a consumer-ready model, especially given the company's bold promise to redefine automotive design and performance. Shin's Alpha 2001 distinguished itself from the typical automotive offerings of 2001 through its unique and non-boxy design. In an era dominated by angular and conservative car aesthetics, the Alpha 01 emerged as a breath of fresh air, captivating not just the seasoned car aficionado but also the average consumer. Its sleek, flowing lines and aerodynamic profile marked a departure from the norm, setting new standards for aesthetic appeal in the industry. The Alpha 01's color palette and exterior design played a significant role in its appeal. The vibrant colors and innovative design elements, such as integrated lighting and sculpted panels, caught the eye of onlookers, making it stand out in a sea of more traditionally styled vehicles. This visual allure was not limited to car enthusiasts, even ordinary buyers, who might not typically prioritize aesthetic innovation in their vehicle purchases, found themselves drawn to the Alpha 01's distinctive appearance. Amidst the anticipation and visual appeal, there was widespread speculation about the Alpha 01's market positioning. Potential buyers and industry observers alike were curious about whether Shin's foray into the automotive sector would cater to the luxury market, with a price tag to match its cutting-edge design and technology, or if the company would take a more accessible approach, offering the Alpha 01 at a price point that could disrupt the market. The debate over the car's affordability versus its premium features underscored the wider curiosity about Shin's strategic ambitions in the automotive industry. As the initial fervor surrounding the announcement of the Shin Alpha 01 began to subside, the realization that the vehicle's launch was still several months away led to a tempering of excitement among potential buyers. This cooling of anticipation can be attributed to the natural ebb and flow of consumer interest, particularly in an industry where the announcement of innovative products frequently precedes their availability by a considerable margin. The delay between the unveiling of the Alpha 01 at the Tokyo Motor Show and its actual release to the public created a period of waiting that dampened the initial enthusiasm. The decision by Shin's subsidiary, the Shin Auto and Motor Company, to schedule the release of the Alpha 01 several months after its announcement was not made lightly. Several strategic considerations influenced this timeline. Firstly, the gap allowed Shin to thoroughly test and refine the Alpha 01, ensuring that the final product lived up to the high expectations set during its reveal. Quality assurance is paramount in the automotive industry, where safety, reliability, and performance are critical factors in a vehicle's success. By taking additional time, Shin aimed to address any potential issues and incorporate feedback received from its showcase, demonstrating a commitment to excellence and customer satisfaction. Furthermore, this interval provided an opportunity for Shin to ramp up its manufacturing and distribution channels. Transitioning from a concept car to a mass-produced model is a complex process that involves scaling up production capabilities, establishing supply chain logistics, and ensuring that dealerships are prepared to sell and service the new model. This preparation is crucial for a smooth launch and helps avoid the pitfalls of supply shortages or logistical complications that could tarnish the brand's reputation. Another strategic reason for the delay was related to marketing and building anticipation. Despite the immediate cooling of hype, the period leading up to the release allowed Shin to implement a targeted marketing campaign. By gradually releasing information about the Alpha 01's features, performance metrics, and pricing, Shin kept the public interest alive and built a narrative of anticipation around the vehicle. This approach also enabled Shin to gauge consumer reaction and adjust its marketing strategy accordingly. Lastly, the timing of the Alpha 01's release could be aligned with strategic market conditions, such as automotive shows, holiday seasons, or fiscal quarters, to maximize impact and sales potential. Timing a product launch to coincide with these factors can significantly influence its market reception and sales performance. Chapter 418, Shin's broader plan for the impending catastrophe. During the heightened anticipation for the Shin Alpha 2001, another groundbreaking venture was quietly making waves in the background: the collaborative development and research project between Shin and Apple, aimed at creating the first iPhone. This project, which had been underway for several years, was beginning to demonstrate notable advancements in smartphone technologies. It's crucial to understand the unique partnership dynamics between the two companies in this endeavor. The development of the Shin iPhone was enveloped in secrecy, with little information being publicly disclosed. This secrecy was not just to protect the intellectual property but also to maintain a competitive edge in the rapidly evolving smartphone market. The collaboration between Shin and Apple was based on a strategic alliance, allowing Shin to leverage Apple's vast experience in technology development and market strategy. In return, Apple was granted the opportunity to gain insights and potentially share in the advancements made through Shin's research efforts. This symbiotic relationship underscored a mutual understanding of the benefits derived from joint research while respecting the proprietary ownership and primary development role of Shin. In this alternate reality, Shin, behind Shin's innovative strides in technology, found himself burdened with the knowledge of potential future events, including the catastrophic impact of an incident akin to 9/11. This wasn't just about the profound human tragedy but also the inevitable economic reverberations that would be felt worldwide. With Shin's global operations intricately linked to the broader market, Shin understood that such an event would not leave his company unscathed. Driven by a desire to mitigate the upcoming challenges, Shin leveraged his unique foresight to strategically navigate the uncertain waters ahead. He envisioned a dual approach: on one hand, preparing Shin to withstand the economic impact, and on the other, ensuring that Shin played a pivotal role in the recovery efforts. Shin's strategy was multifaceted. Aware of the sectors that would be hardest hit by such an event, including airlines, finance, and insurance, he planned to support these industries when they were most vulnerable. Drawing from his experience during the dotcom bubble, Shin recognized the potential for long-term recovery and growth in these sectors. His intention was to make strategic investments in companies within these industries when their valuations were depressed, with a vision for aiding in their recovery process. This approach was not about seeking profit from adversity but about fostering resilience and recovery in the global economy. Parallel to these economic strategies, Shin was deeply committed to providing humanitarian aid to those affected by the crisis. The Shin Foundation, which had previously responded swiftly to natural disasters, was prepared to offer support once more. However, Shin was acutely aware of the delicate nature of timing and perception. To avoid any misinterpretation of Shin's intentions, he decided that the Foundation's response would be thoughtful and measured, rather than immediate. Shin aimed for Shin Foundation to contribute meaningfully to the healing and rebuilding process, ensuring that the aid provided was both respectful and effective. In the scenario where Shin oversees Shin, a corporation valued at $48 billion, his strategic foresight is centered not only on steering the company through potential crises but also on enhancing its global standing through meaningful contributions and strategic investments. This approach underscores a nuanced understanding of corporate influence, recognizing that in the wake of tragic events, companies have the power to effect positive change, both through direct aid to affected individuals and through thoughtful investments that can stimulate recovery and growth. Additionally, Shin's ambition to venture into the aerospace sector reflects a visionary approach to business development, spurred by an understanding of the unique challenges and opportunities presented by the aerospace industry, especially in the aftermath of events such as the tragedy of 9/11. Historically, the 9/11 attacks had a profound impact on the aerospace and airline industries, leading to heightened security protocols, shifts in airline operational strategies, and accelerated advancements in aerospace technology focused on safety and efficiency. In the real-world aftermath of 9/11, the aerospace industry saw an increased emphasis on developing technologies to enhance aircraft security, surveillance, and passenger safety. This pivotal period underscored the necessity for innovation in areas such as cockpit security, air traffic management systems, and communications technologies to prevent similar tragedies and restore public confidence in air travel. Leveraging this historical context, Shin sees an opportunity for Shin to contribute positively to the aerospace venture. With the industry's heightened focus on security and technological advancements post-crisis, Shin's entry could be both timely and impactful. Shin envisages Shin leveraging its technological prowess and substantial resources to develop innovative solutions that address the contemporary challenges of the aerospace industry. This could involve investing in research and development for advanced security technologies, creating more efficient and safer aircraft designs, or developing systems that enhance the overall safety and efficiency of air travel. By aligning Shin's venture into aerospace with the industry's post-crisis needs for innovation and security, Shin aims to position the company as a leader in the next generation of aerospace technology. This strategic move is not merely about capitalizing on a market opportunity but about contributing to an industry's evolution in response to its most significant challenges. In doing so, Shin hopes to realize his dream of entering the aerospace sector in a manner that is both impactful and aligned with Shin's broader goals of fostering positive societal change and advancing technological progress. Chapter 419, Shin Finance Expansion. Shin Finance has captured the spotlight for its strategic investment decisions, demonstrating foresight during the dotcom bubble burst and, more recently, by venturing into the airline and aerospace sectors. Starting with a modest investment in these technologies in 1999, Shin Finance significantly ramped up its commitment in these technologies over time, and by July 2001, Shin's investment focused on innovations that enhance security, safety, and efficiency. This strategic pivot towards investments with clear societal benefits not only solidified Shin's reputation but also bolstered its trust and credibility within the industry and beyond. Shin Finance has emerged as a notable entity in the investment landscape, gaining attention not only for its strategic investments during the tumultuous period of the dotcom bubble burst but also for its visionary approach in the subsequent years. Starting with a modest investment focus on airline and aerospace technologies back in 1999, Shin Finance significantly ramped up its investments in these sectors by July 2001. The firm's investments were not random bets but carefully chosen to enhance security, safety, and efficiency within the airline and aerospace industries, reflecting a deep commitment to funding technologies with tangible societal benefits. This strategic approach significantly bolstered Shin's reputation, fostering a heightened level of trust and credibility among its stakeholders. The inspiration behind Shin Finance's operational model came from observing the success of investment behemoths such as BlackRock and Vanguard. Emulating these giants, Shin, the driving force behind Shin Finance, adopted a similar strategy for his enterprise. He opened the doors of Shin Finance to external investors, recognizing that his personal financial resources were insufficient to make substantial investments across various sectors. This move allowed Shin Finance to pool funds from the public to invest in preferred sectors. However, a distinctive aspect of Shin Finance's operation lies in its governance structure. Unlike typical investment platforms where investors might have some degree of control or influence, Shin Finance operates as a wholly owned subsidiary under Shin's umbrella of private enterprises. This arrangement ensures that while investors are encouraged to direct their capital towards areas they favor, the final investment decisions are heavily influenced by the strategic direction and preferences set forth by Shin and his team of professionals. These professionals, acting under Shin's directives, often guide investors towards sectors Shin deems most promising or beneficial. This model has proven to be mutually beneficial. The ventures Shin Finance targets for investment are meticulously selected for their profitability and growth potential, thereby safeguarding investor funds and generating substantial returns. As these investments flourish, Shin Finance accrues a minor percentage or interest from the profits, aligning its success directly with that of its investors. Shin Finance has also instituted a unique mechanism for investors wishing to withdraw their funds. Instead of liquidating the actual stock holdings, Shin Finance compensates these investors with the equivalent market value of their investments at the time of withdrawal. This approach allows Shin to retain its strategic investments in key sectors while providing liquidity to investors, a move that underscores Shin's commitment to maintaining long-term stakes in chosen industries. This innovative investment strategy has enabled Shin Finance to amass significant stakes in the airline and aerospace sectors, areas Shin is particularly keen on developing further. The influence wielded by Shin Finance in these sectors is substantial, facilitating a strategic and gradual entry into these markets. Shin's long-term vision includes not only leveraging the existing investment portfolio but also potentially establishing Shin-branded ventures such as Shin Airlines and Shin Aerospace and Security Solutions in the future. This phased approach to expansion is supported by the impressive growth of Shin Finance's investment portfolio in the airline and aerospace technologies, which, starting modestly in 1999, was valued at an estimated $26 to $28 billion by July 2001. Shin Finance is making significant strides in the realm of emerging technologies, casting its investment net wide to encompass biometric security systems, advanced surveillance techniques, and the burgeoning field of unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, more commonly known as drones. These technologies stand at the precipice of a new era, promising to transform the way security is conceptualized and implemented within the airline and aerospace industries. By backing innovations that offer smarter, more robust ways of ensuring safety, Shin is positioning itself at the leading edge of security advancements. Harnessing its considerable resources, Shin Finance has forged pivotal strategic partnerships with the leading tech firms, including cutting-edge startups and esteemed research institutions. These collaborations are not just about financial investment, they are about creating a synergy that propels the development and integration of state-of-the-art security technologies into mainstream use. Shin's efforts are paving the way for a future where air travel and space exploration are safer and more secure. Shin's investment focus is prescient, recognizing the growing importance of advanced security measures in a world increasingly aware of the myriad security challenges it faces. The company's foresight in emphasizing these technologies positions it to play a crucial role in the global dialogue on security. While the tragic events of 9/11 have not yet occurred, the anticipation of such a need for heightened security underscores Shin's proactive approach to investment. By honing in on sectors, particularly those technologies aimed at strengthening global security, will be of significant value after the incident of 9/11 happened. This proactive investment strategy could propel Shin Finance to the forefront of global efforts to thwart terrorism and bolster airline and aerospace security. Such a pivotal role may also enable Shin to broaden his influence and impact, shaping policy, defining regulatory standards, and promoting international collaboration on security initiatives. Chapter 420, Shin's latest gems. On a bright August morning in 2001, Tokyo was alive with a palpable sense of excitement and anticipation. The gaming world was abuzz, eagerly awaiting the release of Shin's latest creations, Devil May Cry and Monster Hunter. This wasn't just another game launch, it was a monumental event, the culmination of months of eager anticipation. Shin, a titan in the gaming industry known for its groundbreaking innovations, was poised to unveil these games, with Tokyo was the city to get the first look. In a bustling Tokyo game store, amidst the hum of eager conversations and the distinctive sound of games being eagerly purchased, stood siblings Kenji and Yumi. Kenji, with a penchant for thrilling, action-packed games, was visibly brimming with excitement for Devil May Cry. Meanwhile, Yumi, whose gaming tastes leaned towards strategy and solo adventures, was just as excited for Monster Hunter, intrigued by the prospect of embarking on solitary hunts against formidable beasts. Kenji, barely able to contain his enthusiasm, turned to Yumi and exclaimed, "Can you believe this day has finally come? Devil May Cry is here. I've been tracking every update, and it's set to redefine the action genre." Yumi, with a warm smile at Kenji's excitement, responded, "I'm thrilled about Monster Hunter myself. The concept of venturing out alone to battle against massive monsters offers a fresh, solitary challenge." The store clerk, overhearing their conversation, couldn't help but smile and said, "You've both chosen Kishin's latest gems. Their games never fail to make an impact. Enjoy exploring these new games, and I'm eager to hear about your adventures." With their new acquisitions in hand, Kenji and Yumi stepped out into the Tokyo daylight, their hearts pounding with anticipation. That night, as they dove into Devil May Cry and Monster Hunter, their expectations were not just met but surpassed. The games offered immersive worlds, groundbreaking gameplay, and captivating stories, truly living up to the hype. The morning after their deep dive into Kishin's latest games, Kenji and Yumi were brimming with thoughts and feelings they were eager to share. They logged on to Kishin's official forums, a digital crossroads where gamers from every corner of the globe were already exchanging insights, celebrating their initial impressions, and seeking advice. Kenji found himself in the Devil May Cry First Impressions thread, where he couldn't help but share his enthusiasm. "Wow, Devil May Cry has completely captured my imagination. The combat system feels so fluid and intuitive, and the story just grabs you right from the start. Those dual pistol combos, are they cool or what? Felt like a superhero pulling those off." Anyone else? Yumi, equally eager to exchange notes and learn from others' experiences, headed to the Monster Hunter forum section. She was keen to dig deeper into the game and enhance her gameplay. Her username, YUMI420, posted, "Morning, everyone. Just started Monster Hunter and it's been incredible. I'm on the lookout for any tips or strategies you might have. How's everyone finding the game? Any favorite moments or challenges so far?" Their posts added to the growing posts regarding the Kishin's two latest video games in the thread, igniting a flurry of responses and discussions. The forums transformed into a vibrant hub of activity, where gamers shared strategies, recounted their epic gaming moments, and offered support and advice. As time passed, the forums for the two video games quickly blossomed into a lively community where knowledge and strategies were exchanged freely. As Tokyo embraced the rich tapestry of autumn, the Tokyo gamers found themselves on the cusp of a gaming renaissance with the release of Kishin's Devil May Cry and Monster Hunter. The air was ripe with anticipation, not just for the games themselves but for the verdicts of Satoshi and Ken, two famous critics whose analyses in a popular video game magazine had become almost as eagerly awaited as the games they reviewed. Satoshi delved deep into Devil May Cry, his review reading like a love letter to the fusion of kinetic combat and a captivating narrative. Dante's foray into a world shrouded in darkness is more than just a series of battles, it's an epic tale that tugs at the heartstrings even as it sets the pulse racing. The seamless blend of story and action elevates Devil May Cry from mere game to art, he wrote, his admiration for the game's craftsmanship evident in every word. Ken's examination of Monster Hunter was equally passionate but highlighted a different aspect of gaming joy. The solitude of the hunt, the clash against nature's fiercest, offers a meditative experience that's rare in today's gaming landscape. Each quest is a tale of perseverance and triumph over seemingly insurmountable odds, he observed. However, Ken pointed out a longing for more varied environments to explore, noting, while the thrill of the hunt is undeniable, the landscapes sometimes lack the diversity that such a vibrant world promises. The beauty of the wilderness begs for deeper exploration beyond the hunt. As their reviews circulated, they sparked conversations in every corner of Tokyo's gaming community. Cafes, online forums, and living rooms buzzed with discussions, debates, and reflections inspired by Satoshi and Ken's words. However, not all voices in the chorus sang in harmony. A video games magazine publication with ties to Kishin's rivals, the Tora and Suzuki conglomerates, offered a starkly contrasting perspective. Their critiques seemed to diverge from genuine analysis, with one review dismissing Devil May Cry for its overly complex narrative, while another lamented Monster Hunter's supposedly repetitive landscapes, criticisms that felt more like strategic jabs than objective assessments. This discord only fueled the fire of discussion among gamers. Many insider were quick to discern the underlying motives of the video games magazine publications as their link to Tora or Suzuki and even the emerging company in the video games industry Microsoft, recognizing the critiques as less about the game's content and more about competitive rivalry.
Thanks for listening.